Good evening, folks. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to sit here and ramble. Might, I don't know. Good Lord, the delay on getting live. Jeez. Good evening, folks. Welcome to another. Oh, hey, look, Jason's here. Good evening, Jason. I was actually 100% not expecting you because of the post from earlier on your community tab thingy for storms, so I wasn't expecting you, to be honest. I figured you were having stormy weather, so it's awesome to see you here. So sweet. Grace is drunk typing, and I'm the one that I haven't even started drinking. Sorry for the sinusy, congesty. I don't know. Like I was doing fine like till 10 minutes ago. Evening, Cecilia. To answer your question, before I do, was currently eating some chili mac. Right now, I'm having breathing issues because I have no idea why. So I'm just going to drink and deal with it. Could have fooled me, Grace. Could have fooled me. I'm going to wear out my can. I wonder if I do that enough times if I can just pop that open. I didn't get any rain, let alone snow. Got a lot of wind. We're supposed to have really inclement weather this week, but all we've had so far is just wind. It's been super windy the last 2 days. Also, good evening, Molly. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no snow, lots of wind. And now my sinuses are really going to be going. Ugh. I got like half a shot's worth in here. Oh, Molly is sleeping. Already then. Never mind, I retract my statement. Just kidding. I don't retract it. I just wasn't aware she was asleep. Even Cecilia's giving Grace shit. I love you, ladies. I love you guys. Y'all are a hoot. Ah, gotcha. So I will try not to. I will refrain from making extremely loud noises. Let's try that again. Thank you, Cecilia. I'm retarded tonight. Grace, speaking of tornadoes, I ran across a post. I'm not going to say where, on what platform, or from who, because to be honest, I don't remember. Somebody said that like April 8th and through the 10th, one of those 3 days, there's supposed to be like a Category 7 tornado smack in the Carolinas. Don't know if it's true, They claimed they were from the future and that was going to happen. There was a few other things. There's supposed to be an event happening tomorrow, but I don't remember what it was. I just remembered the tornado wiping out the Carolinas. So, I don't know. Oops. And by the way, folks, I am almost out of Tootsie Rolls, and I bought this bag 2 days ago. I don't know. That's just what they said or claimed. So, yeah. I went from 5 to 1. Jesus. Uh-oh. This is going to suck tonight. I was literally doing fine until like 10, 15 minutes ago. I hate sometimes eating. And then when I blow my nose, it makes it even worse. But anywho's, so supposedly tomorrow is my... It's probably something in my room. I don't clean in here. I'm fine when I'm outside. Fine when I'm in the rest of my house. It's probably just my room because my room stays cold constantly. And I don't really get a lot of fresh air through here. I don't know. That's all I remember on that post. I was half asleep when I ran across it. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. See, it's already changed. Good evening, caller. My weather forecast already changed for the next 10 days, and I just checked it like maybe 8 hours ago. Yeah, I'm showing Sunday the 6th, 35 degrees low, and then after that, it just up and up. Monday the 14th is 46, but that's not freezing temperatures, and everything past that is in the 40s, 45 plus. So I can essentially start planting this week. I can plant tomorrow if I wanted to. Let's see. All of my garlic is doing fantastic. My one parsley bush, which, again, I literally don't remember planting in the garden. I 100% don't remember planting it. I tried celery 3 or 4 times, and those all kicked the bucket. But I got one celery bush, and it's a bush. It's, I don't know, about that tall, about a foot high, and about a foot wide. So it's going crazy. All I do is water it every once in a while, and it just keeps getting bigger. So I should have enough parsley to start doing soon to start harvesting for herbs or for seasoning. Onions and chives, I have an abundance of that. Keep it inside. Got to keep your house warm. You got to keep that stuff above 65 degrees to keep it going. I've got like 4 corn cobs attempting to grow on my corn stalk. We'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to do anything. So, I don't know. Sorry, nose was being itchy. But yeah, right now my greenhouse is 70 degrees, but it's been closed most of the day due to ew. Yeah, you got to find a spot to keep that corn where it just stays constant temperature. Sorry. But yeah, everything in the greenhouse is doing fantastic. The citrus plant that I showed you guys that I burnt the top off of, that I accidentally killed the top on because it got a little too hot. It's fine. Uh, right below that, on the leaf node below it, it's already sending out a new shoot. So it's going to send out a new main, which isn't really all that going to be all that detrimental to the side main that was already, or the original main that was there. So it'll just continue just a smidge off and just keep going. But yeah, I've been checking on it. I've been moving them around so they're not all in the same spot all the time. I kind of give them a rotational period, so every couple of days they get moved. This way they're not all being toasted by the sun. But yeah, those I got like, I think those 6 are still doing good. So I'm still stoked. I got 50% survived, but I did have about an 85% germination rate, which was nice. I still got a couple lemon seeds up here that I got to plant. Transplanted a Virginia creeper that I had in a pot that I don't remember planting. I don't know if it just ended up in that pot or if I actually did stick it in that pot because I wanted to save the plant because the mother plant was dying. Sorry. So, yeah, that thing's about 5 feet long now, almost as tall as I am in the pot. So I put it in a 12-inch pot instead of the 6-inch pot that it was originally in, or a 4-inch pot. I do have jalapenos. I've got Peter peppers, yellow ghosts. My Tabasco peppers are starting to kick into high gear. They're starting to go. Let's see what else. My potatoes are going crazy. I did rip out or chop down the one massive sunflower plant that I had in the greenhouse. I got tired of that thing being in the way constantly, so I trimmed it and got rid of it, and I chopped it into little pieces to stick in a little bitty compost bin that I'm working on. It's basically just like all my trimmings and clippings from the greenhouse. I just put it in a little container and I just mix them up. Might make compost tea, I don't know. Need more greens for compost tea than browns. So I'm trying to work on that. Loofahs, I did actually plant some of those. The space to the left of my greenhouse door, I got an empty square of dirt where I had where I had some stuff growing before. Didn't like growing there. I planted 9 loofahs in there. So I'm hoping they do something. They were from a loofah plant, or sorry, a loofah cone that I had in the greenhouse that apparently was, I guess, molded on the inside, but didn't 100% mold on the inside. It was going funny. So as I was breaking apart, I was like, ooh, this isn't good. But it still had some really good seeds in it. Solid black. I had like 8 solid black seeds. So I just planted those. Any of the other seeds that fell out, I stuck in another area of the garden in one of my silver bins. So we'll see what happens on that. Those things do take forever to germinate. Oh yeah, you're gonna have definite problems with water tonight, Grace. If it's already seeping in, yeah, you're gonna have to get a sump pump and a hose. So at the moment, I've got loofah planted in 2 separate locations. We'll see what happens. It may or may not do what I want it to do. If it doesn't, well, oh well. If it does, awesome. Hopefully I can get some more loofahs and some more seeds. You really only need like 2 to 3 loofahs to get more than enough seeds to pretty much do whatever you need to. My garlic is doing absolutely fantastic. I did have garlic planted in, technically now at this point, I have garlic planted in 6 locations. Half bed behind my truck in the raised metal planter. I grew them in there before and actually did pretty good. Next week, I will be planting. I got a whole bunch of potatoes that are starting to sprout. So I'm going to stick in the front half of that container. I'm going to stick potatoes, like 3 or 4 potatoes, see what I can get out of that. I've got another area I'm going to stick potatoes as well. I'm going to try to get as many potatoes as I can this year. All right, see you in a bit, Jason. Just because I need to learn how to grow potatoes better. I suck at it, so I want to get better. But my garlic, like I said, I've got the main bin right behind the Jeep / next to the greenhouse. That was completely full of garlic. And then I planted, like I said, I had some hardneck garlic that I managed to save one year from the stuff Mallory sent me like 2-3 years ago. So I have hardneck garlic in 2 planters in the new section that I'm working on by the road. Those guys are all popping up. I think I'm short like 4. Haven't popped up yet. And then I have another section where I have some onions in one of my main planters. I think I planted 8 or 9 more over there. And they're already starting to pop up. Those were, I think I planted them within a week. I had planted them, and they were already starting to sprout, some of them. And I put them in there like an inch, like a solid inch deep. So they're in there rooted. Oh, and the other thing, y'all remember that little round onion that I always kept in here? That little tiny sweet onion that was like perfectly round? It was always just floating around in my box over here, and I'd pull it out, and I would like, ooh, there's roots on this thing. But the top always looked dead, which was weird. But it always looked like it was trying to grow roots. I planted that in a pot, and within a week, actually not even a week, I think within 3 days of me sticking that sucker in there like 2 inches deep, or about 1.5 inches deep, I stuck it 1.5 inches deep. That thing was already, yeah, my martini onion, that little tiny round one that I always had in here. I stuck it in a planter, and that thing's already, the top of that's already like 6 inches tall, which is crazy. So next week, I will be planting the rest of my onions. I got to figure out where, but I kind of more or less know where I'm going to put them. I got to get off my butt and actually finish building the planter, my other one. And then I'm going to build 2 small little like 3-footers, like 3-foot squares. So I can have them over there. So it's going to be dot, dot, line, line. So it's going to look like weird Morse code boxes, but not really. That'll give me a little bit more floor space to grow more stuff. Probably specifics in those particular boxes, because I might run like vertical trellis on those just to see what I can get going. Okay, Grace, I gotcha. Yeah, it's always good to have multiple backup floor pumps just in case one fails. Because if your house's original sump pump goes, then your house is going to fill with water. But make sure you have a long enough hose to run out far enough into your yard that water that you're pumping out doesn't tend to run back or seep back into your basement. Because that always sucks. Ooh, here we go. Ah, much better. I can breathe through one nostril now. Oh, there we go. My sinuses, now I don't sound so nasally. I can actually breathe. Now, if only the other one would do the same thing. And you all want to see the worst part about the garlic, me planting? I planted over 100 cloves of garlic. Not 100 heads, 100 cloves. I still have all of this is all the garlic that I grew like last year. I still have tons of it. It's starting to get dry, so I might have to just start planting this everywhere. So I might just go stick a bunch of that crap in my neighbor's yard. No, if I had a boomstick, there'd be a lot less people. And a lot less dogs. And I'd probably have to hear whoop, whoop, whoop. Down on the floor. You won't take me alive, copper. No, most of that stuff does not work on me. I can't do in like nasal shots because my sinuses close up on me almost instantly. I've tried weird things. All right, see you in a bit. I have done some things in my younger days, and snorting things is not my best option because my sinuses just automatically seal. They close. Oh, but that aside from that, that beside the point. That aside, God, I can't even English today. My head's killing me. So I have all of that garlic. I should probably see if any of that stuff is actually still good. Still got to start getting my sunflowers going. I've been picking out all the ones that keep popping up in my yard because I don't want them in certain areas. Because the minute anytime a sunflower establishes itself in the ground, it takes over like a solid square foot of ground, and nothing grows next to it. Nothing. Found that out the hard way with my sunflower bean experiments. Beans only got to about a foot, and then they just got choked out by the sunflowers because the sunflower roots, the network on these sunflower roots are ridiculously dense. So it makes it good for the sunflower because the sunflower doesn't blow over in the wind, but at the same time, nothing in its right mind will be dumb enough to try to grow in that mess of stuff. It's like trying to grow anything in mint. Mint just chokes it out. Same with ivy. Unless you've got something that's already established. Then you plant the other two items on top of it. Because even then, thinner roots tend to get into the little creases and cracks. But the other way around, yeah, usually doesn't work so well. But yeah, I'm just waiting. The thing is, I actually left, even speaking of potatoes too, I left in one of my spots in the other bin, I left a bunch of sweet potatoes just in the ground because I got tired of digging through the planter. I was digging down like a foot and a half, and I was still finding sweet potato slips, like little tiny sweet potatoes. I did not know they would grow that far down in the ground. If you have loose enough soil, them buggers will just keep going. Because I've seen people grow sweet potatoes. Usually you pull out the sweet potato vine and there's a cluster of sweet potatoes at the bottom of it. No, apparently if you have really good soil, they just keep going down, 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 and just kind of spread out that way. It's like an ant hill. You got the cone at the top and the network of tunnels at the bottom. It's crazy. I should actually go through there and actually see if there's anything left. They may or may not have decomposed entirely throughout the season. But even if that's the case, I think I still have a couple little ones from the harvest that I did the first time. So I should be able to get some more sweet potatoes going. Might use one of my other smaller bins just to keep them more contained. But we'll see. We shall see. See what I'm going to do this year. Don't know what I want to try to grow more. I do want to do more radishes, and I do want to do more carrots. My carrots are going to go in a different location this year. Just due to the fact that I think they'll grow better in that spot because that container is really deep. It's like a 2.5 foot. Is it a 3 foot container? Are they 3 feet deep? My big troughs, the ones that I have my blackberries in for the shade or my privacy screen. I have 4 of those, 3 along one side and 1 along the other side of the house. And I've got that pretty much prepped for whatever. So I think I'm going to grow carrots in that one only because I think they'll grow really, really far down. And hopefully I can get them really thick. So all the rest of the stuff, the bins are roughly a foot deep, but I lose like 4 inches because of the base mulch that I put in the bottom for drainage. Some wild asparagus sometime early next month. Oh, there you go. You got to get the beds ready, though. If you're going to do asparagus, you got to make sure you prep everything first and then put them in. Because you can't just grab asparagus, rip it out of the ground, stick it in the ground, and hope that it will survive. Asparagus is kind of weird. You have to make mounds, drape the roots down the side of the mounds, and then cover the mound up with dirt. So you basically want like a hill. That's how I've seen transplanting or planting asparagus. It also depends on how big the plant is that you get. But also keep in mind, you're going to have to plant numerous amounts of plants if you actually want a decent crop of asparagus, and you're going to wait a minimum of 3 years. Which, planting plants and waiting 3 years sucks. It really sucks. Because the first year you put something in the ground, that's usually your plant getting used to the soil. The next year, it's usually its growth period as it's used to the soil. And then the third year is when it starts to usually, when it's more on the mature side, it starts to produce flowers and whatnot. I got lucky with my fruit trees because they managed to stay wintered in their bucket, and then I got fruit after I transplanted it. Only because when I pulled out the entire tree from the 5-gallon bucket, I did not break off any of the dirt. I stuck that sucker in there. So basically, I used the 5-gallon bucket to where I needed the height of the 5-gallon bucket, and then I just packed the dirt around it, pulled the 5-gallon bucket out, pulled the tree out of the 5-gallon bucket, and then set the whole 5-gallon root ball of dirt and tree right straight in the hole. And then I put a little bit more dirt around it, mounded it up, packed it down, and watered it. And I think that was the only reason why I got fruit off my tree like the second year I had it. And I think that was the only reason why. Because normally when you transplant, they tell you to shake off a little bit of the dirt so you have some exposed roots. Just take a knife or a box cutter or even like a metal scraper and just score up the sides of the plant, break the roots, and that'll encourage root growth. And that's what I did. But I was already starting to get flowers on that plant before I planted it, so I just got lucky. I'm hoping this year I should get a nice harvest of fruits. I'm going to see what my cherry trees do, if they do anything, because I did transplant those separate. I believe I showed you guys the video. If I didn't, I apologize. I know I filmed one, but we'll see what happens. And then my the apple tree that I did, a espalier, that one's actually doing real well. I'm going to wait till it gets a little warmer so I can bend the branches down a tad bit more, but I think where I have it, I kind of like it. I do want to cut off one branch and try to graft it onto the tree itself. But at the same time, I don't want to do that and end up killing my tree after having it for God, I think it's my third year actually. Second or third year I've had that tree now. So I don't want to lose another tree. I got 2 almond trees. Those which ones were they? The Knee Plus almonds or Net Plus almonds. I got 2 of those. And to be dead honest, when I pulled those out of the bag, I was not too happy with the rootstock. It looked exceptionally sad for roots. So I'm hoping the plant makes it. If not, that was another $60 again in freaking nut trees that just ate shit in my yard. I feel like I'm almost better off buying seeds and trying to grow the damn things from seed. I might have better luck in 3 years. But those plants can take up to 5 years to produce sometimes, and it depends on whether or not you have their counterpart. This particular one, I need a counterpart. It's not a self-pollinating tree, unfortunately, but I am hoping that if I have 2 of the same kind of tree, it should cover its bases. I don't know. I am not a tree expert or nut expert. I just stick stuff in the ground and see what happens. Speaking of which, I probably should find my YouTube chat and see about getting that popped up so I can real time and other one. Yeah, my brain just shut off all of a sudden. Let's see. That's a nice scoop there, Ajax. Ajax. Jason. Blah. Mute myself before I gotta listen to myself. Oh, I did hit the right one. Yeah. And there we go. Back to that side. It's nice being able to breathe during the live stream and not be like sounding like somebody punched me in the face. So this is really nice. Kind of enjoying it. Drops just planted some asparagus in the front beds. Nice. How many did you plant? Asparagus always needs more than one plant. I think Jason planted like 4 or 5 the first year. And he's just throwing seeds down now. Although he should have a ton of asparagus berries at this point. Only 3 roots? Okay. Give it 3 years and you'll have a couple more. Or maybe by the end of the season, if you're lucky, you'll have some asparagus berries. That's where all your seed pod, that's your seed pod anyway. So if you can get a couple asparagus berries and just start planting them, then you should be good in 4 or 5 years. You should have a huge mess of asparagus. Me, I'm not planning on planting any of that stuff. It's just not something I want to eat. It's a slimy green ditchweed. Not something I've ever been a fan of eating. I've tried it numerous times and I just, no thank you. Two years for the first berries, maybe, but you still got, it's a minimum of 3 years for a decent harvest. Because if you harvest it too early, you send your plant into shock and your plant dies, and then you don't get nothing. But again, it could just depend on your location. If you've got the right soil, right amount of sunlight, right amount of water. It's like real estate. It's always location. Better your location, the better your crops are going to do. Like mine here, everyone always says that carrots are a biannual crop. At every other year or about every other year, if you leave them in the ground, they send out sprouts or the flower heads to get the seeds. I get them every damn year consistently. So, I have absolutely no shortage of carrot seeds. None. I have no shortage. And I've got carrots that are technically managed to survive over winter in the garden beds. I guarantee those are going to send out once it gets warm. First thing they're going to do is they're going to bolt, and I'm going to get more carrot seeds. I have no problems with that. Because I'm just going to stick every one of my bins or beds is going to get carrots at some point or another. I'm going to be cycling them because every time I plant all my carrots all at once, I end up harvesting them all at once. So I'm going to plant in one bed. I'm going to wait 2 weeks. I'll plant in another bed, wait 2 weeks, so on and so forth. And I'm going to try to do that in every bed. I have a half a little snack jar, like a Kirtland Raisinette snack jar, like half full of seeds. Plus, I got seeds everywhere. I got seeds in other containers, so probably if I stuck them all together, I'd probably have a full container of those things. I got carrot seeds galore. I did have a ton of lettuce seeds too, but yeah, I don't know where they went. Like, I lost all of them. Like, I had tons of them things. Oh, actually, you know what? They're still in the greenhouse. Hopefully, they didn't get wet. Well, here's the funny thing. I've already got one lettuce popping up, and I didn't put any seeds in the ground yet. So from the beds that I had the lettuce in originally, despite the fact that I buried under like 2 inches of new soil, all of that stuff, I already got one lettuce popping up. And I know it's a lettuce because when they start, they have little round leaves, like almost perfectly round. And it's the color. It's that light. It's like a light green, like a combination between like this and my shirt. So you know it's a lettuce leaf, like straight up. Isn't a parsnip like a cross between like a turnip and a radish? Yeah, kind of like a turnip and a radish. Oh, carrot and parsley. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Never actually tried one of those. Nice. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Ooh, I can't tell if I'm in focus or if the rest of everything else is out of focus. Like, that is weird. No, I'm slightly blurry. Ooh, staring at your souls. Yeah, I don't have any. Unfortunately, I don't have anywhere I can just stick a 12-foot bed. So I got a bunch of little 6-footers everywhere. That's a lot of seeds. Yeah, I get a ridiculous amount off my carrot seeds. They're my carrot flowers. I get like carrot flowers that are like 4 or 5 inches wide, sometimes 6. I think the biggest one I had last year was shit. That damn thing was like this big around. I think this thing was massive. I think probably had a couple 100,000 seeds. Chilling at a cabin on a lake. That's right. You were going fishing this weekend. Oh, I might have to stop drinking this. Or drink a little bit of water. Because my system is freaking out right now. Oh, it doesn't. No, it really doesn't. It just takes a little bit of warm weather, and all of a sudden they just boop, seeds everywhere. But yeah, I'm looking forward to growing more stuff. I'm most likely going to be doing the same thing with radishes too. So I'll plant radishes, like a row of carrots, go a couple of inches, row of radishes, or 2 rows of radishes. And then I'm just going to do that. I think I'm going to do the radishes every week or 2 weeks. Should I stick with the same schedule, planting the radishes and the carrots along the same span, or should I do the radishes every week just for? We got drops Homestead. That's interesting. Swear you all aren't seeing me eating a Tootsie Roll. I have 7 left. I do, however, have a bag of Skittles to eat too. Because I needed something sweet and chewy. Skittles and Tootsie Rolls were the best way to go. Ah, sweet. Rob's bringing back snacks. Nope, always with the junk food. Always with the junk food. At least for now. Until my garden starts going. Once the garden starts going, I might eat a little bit more from there. Just because I'll have a lot of free food. A lot of it. Definitely going to be doing a lot of stuff with garlic, or at least trying to. Because I have a feeling I'm going to end up harvesting like 20 pounds of garlic, if not more. Like I said, I've got garlic everywhere, and I'm just letting it do its thing this year. I'm not going to water it too much. I watered what I needed to. I'll water the stuff in containers every couple of weeks, but other than that, I'm just going to let my garlic do what my garlic needs to do, and I'm going to go plant some in my neighbor's yard here probably next week too, and see what happens. Because can't go wrong with garlic. You really can't. I do got to get my chilies planted soon too. Chilies, I'll probably wait another 2 weeks just because I want that to warm enough weather so that the seeds actually germinate early enough, but not so late that they don't have enough time to produce and, grow. Oh yeah, tons. If I can do garlic powder, I'll do garlic powder. I plan on making my own minced garlic. Yes. Fixed it is. So yeah, I'll probably try to be making my own minced garlic. The only thing I think I'm going to have to try to find is I think it's ascorbic acid to mix in there to keep it from degrading. I think is the only thing that's in there that I need to worry about finding, but I think I can get that at Walmart. I'd actually be able to find that at my Kroger over here. So I should be able to get that. And then I think it's just garlic water and ascorbic acid or whatever. Or absorbic acid. I don't know how the hell that stuff is pronounced. And like maybe a little bit of salt. I don't know. But yeah, I'd love to do garlic powder. I'd love to do some make my own minced garlic. So if I can do my own minced garlic, I'll never have to buy that stuff in the store ever again. At like $3 a can. Just chop up 1 or 2 onions and good to go, or 1 or 2 garlic and I'm good to go. But yeah, so one of the planters I have, that's the planter that I have on the south side of the house, or facing the south side of the house. Well, on the face of the south side of the house, basically straight across from me. That one, I put 2 trellises in, so I'm going to grow something that'll trellis up that don't know what 100%. I can't do beans, or I can do beans, but I can't do peas because the peas they don't like sunlight. They like colder climates or cooler climates to grow better. So I won't be doing that there, but I'm going to tier that. I'm going to layer it. So I'm going to have my climber. I'm going to have something on the ground, or like 2 layers of whatever grows that can grow like in front of that on the ground or in the same layer of soil. So I'll have my climber, my middle, and then my front. But I don't know how I don't exactly know what particular plants I'm going to put in there 100% yet to layer it. So it's all a work in progress. How well do the peas grow next to your acorn tree? Aren't you worried about the acorns dropping acorns and destroying the plant? Oof. Yeah, everyone is getting a ton of rain except for me. And I would really like a solid rainstorm for like an hour, like a solid heavy rainstorm. I don't care if I get wet. I can go out there and I can refill every one of my water containers. And with everything I have, all of my... Oh, I just realized I got 2 55-gallon buckets full of leaves. I just throw those in my neighbor's yard. Oh, so it probably won't even drop anything near those plants. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I can, when it rains, I can house on average of about 1,000 gallons of water extra. Because I have got like 8 or 10 55-gallon barrels, a couple of 44s, a few 35s, and then my 200 gallons. And if I have to, I'll fill up one of my metal containers with water. I don't care. Just throw some bleach in there to keep the bugs out of it. And maybe the birds. But that's what I've got so far. God, what else? Yeah, I haven't really got that far ahead yet. Then again, every time I keep trying to want to go out there to set up my greenhouse, I can't. I'll get like a good 2 hours of sun, like decent weather, and then it gets windy. But I've got like 4 projects that I'm trying to get done at the same time here. I've got 6 pallets I have to disassemble, stack, and prioritize where I need to put those. I've got like 40 goddamn fence posts that I got to deal with. I have like 16 of them right now that I got to take all the nails out. So that's a few hours right there, just taking out nails, stacking and organizing and making planters with them. Because that's what I made the other planters with, all those free fence posts that I keep getting. I can make them 3 high, 4 high, 5 high, depends. I mean, it really just depends on how much time I want to sit out there and cut them apart and how many I want to nail together. But yeah, I've got those I got to deal with, and that's at least 4 days worth of work, solid 4 days, which only have 2 days worth of work. Lots of stuff for me to do. Yay! I'm really looking forward to it. Plus, once I get all that stuff organized, I can start working on getting my compost bin worked on. I need to go through there with an auger bit and drill into and kind of pull up the dirt to try to get some of that air down into the bottom of it so I can actually get some better soil. Rob was here and then he left. He said he was bringing back snacks. Yes, Rob is currently, let's see, he says, chilling at a cabin on a lake. He says, wish the weather was better. It's cold and windy. A lot of work cut out for me to do. I wish I had a helper, but I don't. So it's all got to be all me. It is what it is. Oh, I just thought of something. Ooh, I can do it in my. I can do it for. I can do that for my neighbor. Heck yes. I almost ate another Tootsie Roll. I just realized I can help. I can help segment my neighbor's garden beds because I have all of these boards. I can just measure her pre-existing garden beds and nail them together in dividers and make little slats or divider columns. Yeah, I can do that. That'll be way better. She can grow stuff in sections. I've been wanting over here. Been wanting for the last 50 minutes because I started early. And the thing is, I'm actually having a good day today. Nobody pissed me off at work, which was a shock. Was a little annoyed by one customer. Asked him if he wanted carry out or delivery, and he goes, "Are you guys open today?" No, dude, I just asked that damn question for my health. It's usually 4. Yeah, that's why I like making all of my stuff out of. Almost everything that I've made has been with reclaimed lumber. Though there was one bed that I had to buy 3 2x6x8 or 2x6x10s in order to finish it, just so I can get the amount of pieces that I need. I needed like 3 more pieces. I had completely run out of boardage. I probably would have had enough had I not used 2.5 boards, almost 3 boards to top my my original main garden, my 6-footer, my 3x6. Had I not used the 2x6s to use as a top cap on that one, I probably would have had just enough to make that other bed. But I do got to redo a lot of those the top boards. I do have to pull, which is another project I really don't want to do because that's going to be another like 2 hours just to do them all. Maybe 4. I have to take out 3 of my trellis ends that are in the raised beds, and I have to move them 3 inches forward so they're a little farther away from the edge of the planter bed because I have them. So I have the trellises are like right here against the edge, and there's not a lot of room of dirt in between the backside and the trellis. So my plants that I was growing over there weren't getting enough root system set out, and if they were drying out on that one side because that's basically like that far away from the board. So they would get afternoon sun, dry out, and they just weren't doing well. Oh, he almost got a worse answer than that. So yeah, I got to move 3 of those up far enough. The trellis I have, my 4-foot trellis in my 6-foot bed, that one's actually fine because of the way I have that one designed. Because again, I have a 2x6 top cap, so that thing's already like 4 inches in, plus the T-post, plus the front of the trellis. So I'm at like I have like it's like 4 to 6 inches, I think, from where I have my plants to growing into the back. So those guys were getting plenty of water and root growth. It's the only reason why I got like almost 10 pounds of acorn squash last year, which I'm going to be doing the same thing again this year. Don't know if I'm going to do it in the same area or if I'm just going to try to grow those on the fence. Have not quite decided what I'm going to do with it 100% yet, but I do want to get at least 3 or 4 sections of acorn squash just growing. I don't particularly eat it, but I do have family members that will eat acorn squash. My mom will make acorn squash soup with it. So more acorn squash, the more acorn squash that I grow, the more free soup we have. Well, they have. Don't know what a green Hubbard is. Give me a second, folks. My ear's all itchy. Ooh. Alright. The other thing I did plant, I planted them in two different sections, is I had some bulbs, some flowering bulbs. I forgot the names of the flowers that they were, but if they happen to grow, I can just take a picture of it with the Google Lens and figure it out from there. But these were bulbs that I had, God, for like 2 years. I honestly don't know if they're going to do anything. At this point, I'm pretty sure they're dead, but no harm in trying. So if I get something free from that, awesome for me. The planter that I have right out here that I have unidentified green stuff popping out of, based off the leaf and what I saw at the box stores, I believe they're tulips. I don't remember having tulips in the house at any given point, but I could have gotten a batch during a holiday. And I think I just spread them out into that planter. I think I put like 12 in there, 12 or 15. So I have a whole bunch of them popped up over there. And again, those are bulb style, and they will split, they will break, they will send off little nodes, and then, you know, do whatever. So if I can get all those good to go, I can get more next year and just start planting a lot of those all over the place. Might even consider offloading them for like $2 a bulb or something like that. I don't know. Because God, I don't know if Jason's still here. He said he was going to be right back, but I don't know if he came back or not. You can get what? Tulips are like $15 for sometimes for like 5 bulbs. Hi, Molly. Hope I didn't wake you. Oh, there's Jason. Jason, how much were the bulbs for the tulips that you planted? Like stupid expensive? Yeah, so for the that was either a purple or a black one. For one rhizome, $13 for a tulip. And I have like 12 of them growing right next to my house. Oh, those were gladioluses. Gotcha. Yeah, the black one was 15. Did that one actually survive, or did it just kick the bucket 100%? Keep forgetting I have my YouTube chat up here too. Ooh, white did not. Interesting. Yeah, so you got lucky. Nothing grows in my yard. I have to get it imported either through somebody when they come over for a holiday. Is usually when I get some of these plants. I don't normally buy them on my own because the damn plants are expensive, like stupid expensive. Yeah, if I'm lucky this year, I can get those. If they go this year, I'll have all of those. I can separate those. I can start getting those all over the place. I might just run a line of them across my fence, my entire fence, just plant them on the front side because nothing's going to dig them up. I don't have gophers down here. Well, I do, but we don't. Don't have prairie dogs. We do, but we don't. The only thing I got to worry about are moles, maybe, or groundhogs, which very rarely see them things. So, I don't know. I still plan on running in my neighbor's yard. I still plan on turning one section of her yard into like nothing but a freaking sunflower farm, sunflower field. Because nothing beats free sunflowers, and to be honest, it's just going to bring in a ton of birds. Ton of birds. I got something fuzzy on me. And there's nothing wrong with birds. Hey, Crystal! It's Pets and Plants. How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. What is your icon? Is that a squirrel or is that an owl? See, now I don't know. See, now I have to do this to see what that icon picture is. Oh, it's a cat. It is Let Cat. Ooh. La Cataroni. Ooh, it has a ton of tulips over there. Jesus, those things are huge. Ooh, and I do have, I noticed that was, brain just shut off. Dandelion. Good Lord, I think I got my first dandelion of the season. Not the last dandelion, thank you, folks. Oh, so it was the yellow one that survived, not the blue one. So was it the... Jason sent me a picture. Jason's sending me dirty pictures again. Oh, no, dandelions come. Those things will pop up like crazy. They don't care. Oh, nice. Oh, the yellow one actually did pretty good. Looks like you got 2 rhizomes off of that one. And the purple one. Stupid edit. Get off of there. That edit with AI is annoying. Might get looks like that one's got 2 rhizomes also, so you're going to have 4 of them next year. That's pretty good. That is awesome. He was just sending me pictures of dirt. Those are dirty pictures. A plant in a pot in dirt is a dirty picture. Hey, Deb, how's it going? Finished bird chores? Oh, I read that as bird cheese. I don't know why. So you finished? So are your birds clear? Nice. Yep. Is there a different color of dandelion? I've never seen anything other than yellow ones. Yeah, I got a little bit of a cold spell coming next day or two, and then that's pretty much it. And then I can start getting some real planting going because I really, really want to get outside and start going. I really want to get my garden started, like really badly. I also want to get my freaking greenhouse started so I can get stuff going in there too, but I can't do anything until it stops being windy and until I can get everything over there processed. Because I've got about, I don't know, 15 saplings for Spanish elm sitting over there on my tree that I cut from my neighbor's yard. I'm just waiting them dry out. And then I still have to go over there and harvest. I cut a pile of elephant ear grass. I have a big old pile of that I got to go over there and mulch. Might just leave that over there for her so she can use it on her stuff. But yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff I still have to mulch and get rid of. And yeah, I got a lot of work to do. But that's the fun part about gardening. Oh, I've got well, they're little purple ground flowers. They usually only pop up about 6-8 inches, and have a little tiny purple cone, like flower cones on top. And I can't remember what the name of that plant is. Oh, here it is. I found the flower. Oh my god. Come on, give me the name of the flower, you turd. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. So, here, let me... I keep forgetting I can do this. Stupid me. So, it's this flower here. I have these ones popping up right now. I can't remember the name of the flower itself. But the bees are going crazy on these ones right now. Which is odd that they're popping up now. They usually pop up later, and then they like die before December, which is really annoying. Because they're supposed to pop up in between like October and January. But my plants over here have no idea what season it is, so they just pop up whenever, and then they just kick off whenever. I usually get them, they'll pop up like twice a year. So they'll pop up now, and then they'll pop up again at the later end of the year. But yeah, these are the little ones I've got. Long, stringy grass leaves, but then they have sent out these like shoots with these little purple flowers on top. Ooh. Hey, what up, Blake? Good to see you. How's the weather? I hope you're not too wet over there. Crystal had to bring her plants in yesterday. It got a lot of wind, or did it just get too cold? God, mad heartburn right now for some reason. Oh, shit. I was going to say, Jason, you good for tonight? Sorry, I'm like 8 minutes into rambling over here. Gotcha. Brought him in from the cold. Plant peas. Yeah, I said that right. Plant peas. Peas like cold weather for some reason. I don't know why I do it that way. I can just stupidly do it this way. We are staying on topic tonight. That is 100% guaranteed. Anything off topic will be removed from chat or from panel. I'm tired of everyone trying to take over my damn live stream, talking about everything else other than gardening and outdoors, like being out there.
Hello.
How's it feeling today?
I'm doing a lot better.
Did you have to go to work today, or did you call in?
Oh, no. Not returning to work till tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Extra day of recovery.
Yeah. Oh, slap that rat.
Rat has been slapped. Got a headache now for some reason. Which doesn't make any sense because I'm not dehydrated.
Not dehydrated?
No, surprisingly not.
Really?
Good evening, Colin.
No, nothing to report on the potato front, but just my corn thing that I was talking, which I talked to you earlier. I mentioned to you earlier about.
Bring the corn plant into where you guys are.
We can't. There's no good sun here. That's the only good place with the south face. That's our south facing window.
Ah. Well, you can always get a grow light.
Well, it does have a light back there, but it's back there, not here.
Oh. Well, yeah, but if the plant is back there, you don't need the light up where you're at. You need it back where the plant is at.
Well, it's already there. It's just that we don't. If we have to leave that light on 24/7.
No, you don't leave it on during the daytime and turn it off at night. Plants are like people; they tend to want periods of time where they're not active.
Yep. Yeah.
It needs time. It needs time to reverse.
Yeah, it's just the fact that the one window that would be perfect for it is also the same window that the kitties like to sit in.
Cats won't touch that stuff.
Oh, they'd push it out of the way. Because the beam of light hits right where I want to put the plant.
Yeah, if the plant's heavy enough, the cats ain't going to move it.
Mac is solid. I've seen him move our ottoman across the living room floor because he chooses to.
Ooh, nice. Deb's got a ton of rain. We've got ivy and lilacs going, and nice. That's going to be a nice carpet of flowers.
Okay, just a quick question. I did see something. Please forgive me for where the topic starts, but it is about gardening. When we were out today picking up my arrow things, we stopped up at Five and Below. They had these bins. They look like corrugated metal, round tub things.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were like really huge, about that. I guess really pretty deep.
18 inches.
I didn't have a tape measure.
Usually about 18 inches for most of those.
But I'm just thinking, I mentioned to Jenny that they would make great places to plant stuff in there.
Yes.
But I wasn't sure if the galvanized metal would be bad or not.
No.
We're good. Okay, I wasn't sure.
You want galvanized because the galvanized takes forever to rust and break down.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because for some unknown reason, this particular Five and Below had a lot of industrial gardening themes because they had stuff in wheelbarrows and all this other stuff. So just
probably doing a spring clean sale or something.
I don't know, but they were on wheels too. I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but I was just trying to figure out where would I find something like that because those things are expensive.
Yep.
I regret not getting those ones that I found at Lowe's that I was telling you guys about a couple of months ago.
Right, you mentioned this.
Those like knockoff, kind of like birdies kind of style planters.
I don't know what those are, but
they went from $50. I think when I originally found them, they were like 60, something like that for one of those. They're now 110.
Yeah, these were like oblong, so which is really weird. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see if they had a drain in it or not.
They won't.
So
if they come in a box, it's just going to be the corrugated metal. It's just going to be an.
No, they were actually using these as bins. So that's the reason I was, they actually.
He's probably talking about the cattle troughs like you have.
But they were on a stand with wheels.
Yeah, you can make them with the stand on wheels.
No, I'm not sure if they came that way or not, but that's what I'm saying. Because I thought they would have been a good waist height when they were,
Oh, he probably okay. I think are you talking? Was it like the corrugated metal ones, like the wavy? It could looks like a Lay's potato chip.
Yeah, exactly. If I could find a picture of it, I will
come with bottom.
Huh?
So those don't normally come with a bottom. It's just usually the open sides.
They have like 6 or 7 of them. But I'm gonna see if I can
find a picture.
I didn't think to do that. I was
killing me, Smalls. You always got to take. If you see stuff like that, you always got to take a picture.
Dang it. Sorry.
Actually, how I got mine was I kept visiting the website over and over and over again, and they kept dropping the price. So it went from, was it $98 to $50, and I went, click, buy.
Yeah, but yours are open bottom though.
Yeah, but mine are the fire rings.
Yeah, essentially that's. I mean, what's really funny is so Walmart will sell that corrugated fire ring. Usually you get them for like $30-$40, and it's the same material that you're going to get all this stuff. It's like a 36-inch fire ring when it's all put together. You can buy a whole bunch of those and just set them right next to each other in the backyard and just fill them with dirt. You like whenever you mow your grass, throw your grass clippings in one of them. Just basically start every season, just hugelkultur bed and just make them. Leaves drop, rake all your leaves, mulch them all up, stick them in there, put your grass clippings on top of it, a little bit of dirt, and it'll settle, and then you just add a little bit more dirt and compost.
And some dried leaves and dried twigs.
Yep.
I try to get that a 50-50 mix.
I'm just
for kettle trough drops, that is a drain valve. It's not really a fill valve. Because you don't normally fill anything from the bottom up. You always fill it from the top down. Unless they're like the weird bar glasses, which are funky, have that weird port on the bottom. You just set it on the thing and it fills them that way. But yeah, cattle troughs, that's always a drain valve, so you can flush out all the nasties from the bottom, because it's a heck of a challenge to try to push one of them suckers over when it's got 400 gallons of water in it. Or, well, the big ones, the 3x2s are 75 or 85 gallons, I think is what they hold. I think is what the container said. You try pushing over 85 gallons of water. That's 640 something pounds you got to try to push over. You ain't going to move that.
Oh, yeah.
I've kind of come close to what I saw. Unfortunately, none of the pictures even match. I should have.
Yeah, they're making cattle. They're easy to set out there, and you just set them out there, and they last for 30 years because it's galvanized metal. You don't want to do stainless because stainless surprisingly actually does rust. Galvanized will sit there for decades without doing anything.
Well, that's what it looked like to me when I saw the one I saw. And they had like 6 of them. They were using them as regular bins, but they had wheels and everything.
That's weird.
I'm trying to find a picture of it. I see it in my head. I'm trying to describe it to even on Google. It's not coming up.
Go to the website for that store, and it should have the pictures in there.
Yeah.
It should have the description, or at least an item number, or at least an item that you can figure out.
Okay,
and put in
Yeah, Cliff, can you imagine pushing over a 300-gallon tank?
Yeah, good luck.
2,520 gallons.
Pounds?
Pounds, yeah, thank you.
Because a 300-gallon tank, how did a 300-gallon tank go to 3,000
Sorry,
gallons?
Just thinking,
Jason's using that Chinese math.
yeah, oh, yeah. We pick on that at work.
See, and the thing is with those corrugated units is you can stack them on each other. Like you don't necessarily have to have, whatever the height is, usually like 14, 18 inches. You can stack 2 of them on top of each other and bolt them together. Might be a little snug, or there might be a small gap because you are technically putting one inside the other. But if you do it right, there shouldn't even be an issue. You'll have your one seam. You're basically going to end up doing like this. So here's your edge to edge. Instead of going around like this, you're going to have edge to edge like this. And that'll give you your you can do a higher one on that. So instead of doing 18 inches, you can do a 36-inch deep one, or 32-inch deep, however many rungs you want to lock it down on, because you don't want the thing toppling over.
Nothing. It's going to be nuts for the next little bit.
Yep, should have taken a picture the first time.
I wasn't planning on going there initially. I went there. It was like I said. It was like stop in, and I saw it, and I thought would be a great one for that.
Yeah, like I said, get a couple of those and just keep checking the website for that, and they'll eventually send you a coupon for like, here's $50 off. Go buy 2 of them at that point. It's $25 off each one.
Yeah. I gotta make sure I have my truck because it won't fit in the car.
They come in little boxes.
No. This was not what you called your normal for sale items. These were like the display bins, but they were using actual metal things like actual wheelbarrows and real things for bins.
A lot of hardware stores will do that, or like Big Five places do that.
And I don't even know where they got them because I'm sure they'll probably just toss them out when they're done with them because that's what they usually end up doing.
Dumpster find.
Yeah, I got to be there on the right day for that though.
How's a 250-pound propane tank that's empty weigh 500 pounds? Drops. You using that Chinese math too? Did it look something like that, Colin?
It did look like that, but it was on a platform with wheels and everything.
Yeah. Those ones, Jason, when I originally found them, that was $50 or $60 when I first mentioned it, like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I can't read it. I would say if I could use the same words to find it is the thing. I can't read the words. It's all garbled.
Well, this is what Lowe's sells. They sell this bin.
Oh, no, we sell all kinds.
Now, what's it called?
Garden bed.
Rust-resistant metal raised.
Galvanized.
Okay, I didn't use the word garden. That's the one thing I didn't use.
Yeah, raised garden bed.
No, I'm not Googling nothing. But yeah, so you can find the round ones like this, which is really funny. At like Walmart, they just sell them as they consider them fire pits. It's the exact same material, but it's just the 2 round ends. And they usually get like 4 pieces and stack them up to each other.
Which one was it here? You got the square ones?
Yeah, I don't like the square ones. Because the corners let all the dirt and water out.
Yeah. Then you got these here. You can buy. You can make any kinds of different configurations on them.
Yep.
Now, where'd you find yours at, Cliff?
Lowe's. I found mine at Lowe's.
Okay.
Which is the site that Jason's on right now.
I'm on Home Depot, so just checking that one out.
Have I seen them at Home Depot? Because I just run across it at Lowe's. I'm pretty sure my Home Depot sells them. I just never pay attention.
Yeah, so this one's 24 inches high, 96 inches long, and 48 inches in width.
Wide.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good size.
For $109, yeah.
Here's the one they have at the one I just showed you is from Home Depot. Just the picture. I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, see, I think that one right there, Jason, though, I'll show that one in a second. The 48 by 96 by 24, that's what that planter is that's in the picture.
Yes, that one there.
Yeah, that's a deep planter. You can get a lot of stuff in there.
This would be like 2 of them.
Yeah.
That one's $178, the one I've going to show you.
But $109, and you buy, 5 of these, that'd make a nice little water break.
So almost $600, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I just love the fact that you can configure those however you want to. You just make little round ones, slightly oblong ones.
Yeah, like I said, it's almost 8 feet long. Get a couple of T-posts, put them in there, and that'll hold back a lot of weight and a lot of moving water when it's full.
I was going to say, once you get that thing full of dirt, it ain't moving.
No, that's 2 feet tall.
Yeah, full of dirt and full of plants, that ain't moving.
No. You just need to put a stake on the outside to keep it from blowing out.
Those ones most likely will have the threaded inserts, so that's probably a
I don't know if it has.
thread that goes from end to end.
It doesn't say if they have them or not. Like
Yeah,
I said, I don't see it on the side of them.
Yeah, it's hard to tell on there, but yeah, there's probably a couple of sections in there in the middles where they have a piece of all thread that goes all the way across that you just thread on there and then tighten with a nut in the middle, keep them from collapsing in or out. But they will tend to, if they go through there, what happens is they'll actually what they'll do is they'll actually pull the containers in. If you've ever watched Self-Sufficient Me, Mark has had to dig out a few of his beds because as the soil collapses and compacts, it was pulling in his bed sides. This is the one Colin was showing.
That's from Home Depot.
Sorry, Jason. This is the one he was. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. That's just a white one.
Yeah, but it's also a lot more expensive. It's like $178. I'm not sure what the size is.
Galvanized.
It's a 8 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah, so basically with the black one that Jason, like the one we were just showing.
Yeah, just a more expensive version, which for some unknown reason.
Those things are expensive. They are ridiculous.
Yeah, but like the one I saw wasn't even that big. It was like probably half that size. It could be about 4 feet long, about the same width probably.
See, I'm thinking about putting some of these on the east side of my property as a water break.
Yeah, they would do it. Just drill a couple of holes on the bottom and don't just use it 100% as a water break. Let the water go in there and absorb into the plants.
No, I meant to stop the water from rushing across the property. I can't stop it from coming up.
Yeah,
because you're on a floodplain, right?
Yeah.
You can't do anything to interfere with the floodplain. It's against the law.
Not in his area, it's not.
Oh, everywhere it usually is.
No, if it was illegal to interfere with a floodplain, they would not put houses in those locations.
You got it.
My grandmother's house was there before they redirected the dams upstream. It wasn't a floodplain until they did it. So then they had to put in a levee to alleviate that risk.
Yeah, what she needs is beavers.
Well, I'm sorry, not a lot of beavers in Iowa.
Yeah, there is.
Doesn't mean there can't
Not a lot, I said. It's not. They're not further north, but not down where I'm at.
Southeast corner or southwest corner. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, but not like they're not common. They're coming up from Texas. You're running them out.
Now, you ever watch Trapper Jay get them all in the canals?
He's shipping them
in the ponds. Yeah.
by ship beavers.
Problem is, need more beavers out west.
Well, I heard about what that one town did. They I think it was in Canada. They were supposed to be doing a dam project, but they had imported like 12 beavers like 5 years before, and they actually built a dam of their own, which did the exact same thing the dam that they were going to build was going to do.
Yeah, in half the time and for like absolutely no cost. Yeah, I did hear about that one. It was like a $5 million dam project or some crap like that.
Yeah, and they just did it themselves because they couldn't.
They were having a hard time getting zoning and permitting, so they were just like, you know what, screw this. We're just going to bring in some beavers, and they just dropped off a bunch of beavers over there, and the beavers did it pretty much right where they wanted it, and just the exact same thing that they needed. Built the dam right where they wanted it.
And it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Exactly what they were going for, and for zero cost. All they had to do was import a couple of beavers.
I think they were that area used to have beavers, but it got trapped out years ago, and they just reintroduced them.
Yep. I actually read the story on that. That was actually kind of interesting.
I thought that was actually kind of cool, using natural resources to create, to answer a problem.
Like I said, New Mexico used to have beavers all over through it.
Until they
with Arizona.
What if you imported a bunch of beavers to Arizona or New Mexico?
Believe it or not, they used to be in Southern California.
Now, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of water in California.
It's just not accessible during the summertime.
That's
Not
why
as
everything in
accessible,
California
yeah.
catches on fire.
We need to plant more trees.
I'm actually happy. The last few days I've noticed going to work that the entire construction project that's down by my house that's been pissing me off for like the last 2.5 years,
Is done?
they're planting trees.
Oh, good.
Oh, so they're
What kind of trees, though?
That is a damn good question.
either it's going to be the American
And,
ash.
Here where I live, they actually did something really cool. They didn't plant just ornamental trees. They actually planted apple trees.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping they were planting, but as I was driving by, I noticed one of the trees was pretty much ghost white. I'm like, that's an ash tree.
No, that's
no.
dead. It's going to be dead.
Are you talking about the flowers were white?
No, the tree bark itself was white.
Ash.
It
Yeah,
could be birch
that's
too.
straight ash. I think it's a cross between ash and like some of the ornamental flower trees, but I would have really preferred them to plant fruit trees.
Yeah, me too. You can
100%
do more
would
with
have
fruit
preferred
trees
that.
than you can with an ornamental one any day.
It's hard to eat the ornamental flowers off of those plants because most of them are toxic.
Even crab apples have a value, just to let you know. Or cherry even would be a good one.
I think it's too hot down here to plant sakura trees.
Of what?
I don't think they'd make it.
What kind of trees?
Sakura trees.
What's sakura? I don't know the word.
Cherry blossom trees?
I didn't know
Sakura tree.
the word. Sorry, it's a new word to me.
Yeah, the ones you see in like Japan that are like during like the certain seasons, they're like nice and bright pink. And
I remember that they call it the Cherry Blossom Festival or something like that.
Yeah, they're
I do
sakura.
know
trees.
about that, but I don't know much more than that.
Yeah, it's probably a combination of like ash and might be not. I don't think it'd be cypress, not a wrong location, but it's probably ash and. God, I know what.
Actually, you should be able to contact the city and find out.
I could, but that's a waste of my time because they're not going to do what I want them to do. I want them to.
I mean, if you don't want that kind of tree near your property or something like that.
Is the tag still on the tree?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they are.
So there's an easier way. You go look.
I have to have time to go look. That's the problem. The spot where I can park to take a look is still currently under construction.
Oh.
Because they were redoing the park in that area as well.
How far is that from your workplace?
11 minutes.
Oh, okay. Too far. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 3-4 minutes from my house driving.
That's an interesting
It's all
choice
the
there,
way to
Mike.
work. Nice. Not a name for a person, niece's name. As long as her cousin's not named Naruto. Did Japan really give them to us drops, or did we steal them from them after we pretty much almost wiped them off the face of the map?
In 2 locations.
It'll be cold.
What?
That's in the upper 50s tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful tree, and when it's in blossom. Other than that, that tree it just looks like a dead tree.
Well, these are not like lilacs. I'm sorry. My mom loved them, but they get overpowering.
Oh yeah, that smell it's rough.
I mean, it's great for the environment. Don't get me wrong. Just the smell, just overpowering.
As are most trees.
I like the smell of apple trees. Especially apple
Okay.
blossom.
We got them before World War II. That kind of makes me wonder though, if they gave us those trees, why did we still have to go and do what we did? But anyway,
You know what the city could have done to really make it really nice is if they had asked for sponsors for people to choose the trees they want to plant. And that way you can choose the trees that near your property.
No, these morons out here be all picking
Dano.
juniper trees.
Huh?
I said all these idiots out here would be picking juniper trees.
Nah,
bushes. I hate junipers, and that is the ugliest freaking bush.
it's a bush, not a tree.
Yeah, it's an ugly ass bush, and they're prickly too. You run into it, it's like you might as well just get smacked with a cactus.
Right.
I hate those plants. My neighbor had one. I cut that sumbitch out.
And they don't
She
make
got
good
tired.
bows either.
They're
But
good for hedges if you're doing like a short hedgerow.
right.
But other than that, for decorative plant,
Would that protect a garden if you had a hedgerow of those?
not really. I mean, it would keep people from going into your garden, but like small birds, small animals, because they can just go under like the foliage and go downward, like through the cracks and crevices. But
Because I've heard people. Well, here they used Osage orange and stuff like that for making hedgerows and stuff like that for the fields. So I wasn't sure if that could be used as a garden thing or not.
Yeah, no, like I said, you still want airflow for a garden.
yeah, I mean, they're great for border plants if you have like a large property and you want to keep, that you don't want to actually build fencing on. You can plant those. But the thing is, in order to get juniper the way they have like those hedges that you see in like movies or whatnot, all nice and square and perfectly green, it takes decades to get them that way.
And
It's
a lot
not
of
like
money.
you can plant that damn thing and have it that way in 2 years.
Obstacle, how you doing?
Now, the obstacle, I look at it this way. If those trees haven't died in Denver over the last winters that Denver gets up there, they'll be all right. It might take that tree another couple of months to decide it wants to put out more flowers for the new season, but essentially, your tree should be okay. Like I said, it probably killed off the first set of blossoms. Trees are notorious for setting out multiple sets sometimes, depending on how healthy your trees are.
I can't plant anything outside until the last frost date, which is not until the 21st of this month.
Oh man, mine's I got like 4 more. Technically, tomorrow's my last technical frost date.
Good, tomorrow's ours.
Yeah, you're a lot further south, both of you.
I think Jason's actually closer to the equator than I am.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you saw her; she just like peeked out.
Mhm.
I've seen Jenny walking back and forth like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
She's sneaky. She's a ninja today.
she is. I
Nice.
accidentally let her go in Hobby Lobby while I was waiting on my arrows.
Oh, I still haven't seen my garden since last
They had a lot of good gardening stuff there too, surprisingly enough.
Saturday. No, Friday. At least Friday.
Yeah, Jason's been out for a whole week not being able to do anything.
I actually saw succulents at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby sells plants.
I wasn't used to seeing that. I go, they sell succulents here?
Yeah.
I had to go up there and touch them to make sure they were real. Because, I mean, I've seen a lot of fake ones, but not the real ones.
They usually don't sell the big one. They'll sell like the little decorative one that you sell like on your desk.
That's what they were. These were all the little ones. But still.
Which reminds me, nobody's watered my Aragavy at work. I'm pretty sure of it. On my desk.
What kind of apple trees are they there, Dana?
Oh yeah, no the obstacle. If yours an old apple orchard, yeah, no, them trees don't even care.
Those things will be
guarantee them
around
trees don't
forever.
care.
Johnny Appleseed planted those probably decades ago, or 100 years ago or more.
Yeah, I kind of more or less have it. I know where he's at, so yeah, I can see that because he's up in the mountain range area. Yeah, those trees don't give a crap.
Well,
Those-
the good thing I
those
got
trees
to apple
are the
today, I had some
proverbial-
apple juice, so.
Yeah, those trees are the proverbial honey badger. Honey badger don't give a shit.
But I'm just curious what type of apples they are.
Oh, that'd be nice if they were Pippins.
What about Golden Delicious? What's wrong with those?
Those are a newer breed.
No, I don't want Pippins because then they might be Scotty.
Okay.
If you know, you know. If you don't
Or
know,
you have a Mary to go with them,
them.
right? If you get a Mary to go with them. If you're gonna go sports, I'd rather go Lord of the Rings.
I like the ones that are about this big and they're tart. The Pippins. Those are perfect for making apples.
Those are I want to say.
You're talking about cider apples, basically.
Sorry, Deb. Sorry. You know darn well that I'm going to at least come up with at least a handful of really bad puns and dad jokes. So I still want to know what Drops got. So Obstacle had a whole bunch of old orchards. Those were mostly Golden Delicious. But I want to know what the apple tree Drops got lucky with when you bought the property.
You said Golden Delicious.
No, that was
Oh,
Obstacle for Golden Delicious.
You might have Golden Delicious.
You're right, Deb. I really am not. Sounds like the last existing tree in his yard, Jason.
oh, okay.
Some type of sweet red apple.
What's nice is that apple's actually coming back.
The only thing I can think of would be the Fuji apple or the Granny Smith's. It's the only like sweet red apple that I can think of.
There was a apple that I saw somewhere. Please forgive me about the location. It was actually for one of those moonshine shows, but they were talking about an old Appalachia apple orchard that was the fruit was soft and really, really sweet, and they were making it into a brandy. But they said they were ugly, sweet apples. So I'm not sure what they were called or what, but they were.
Obstacle. You might have a little gold mine there. Everybody's looking for Pippin apples. Are they
I've
usually?
never even heard of Pippin apples until today.
Yeah,
So,
like I said,
not everybody then.
are they ready in around about September?
That's when almost all apples are ready.
No, you got some that are ready in like early September, August. Then you got some that are ready in mid-September, towards October. Then you got the ones in October. Pippins usually run right in.
Hey, Dan.
Dan,
September to mid-October.
Dan the man.
all right,
Okay.
now should I get a refill?
Yeah, all the orchards I used to go to, they're all gone now. They're all houses. Many years
That
ago.
sounds familiar to me because I think my grandmother.
40
might have
years
one of
ago.
those,
See, I think what we need to do is we need to get a whole bunch of us, decide we all want to move to like one decent state where it's actually not constantly cold and not constantly hot, and then just buy like a shit ton of land and just start putting old ass apple trees on there. Like apple tree species that like you don't hear of anymore. Like go to like old apple farmers and be like, hey, we would like to purchase, one or two of these trees, and you do another one or two of these trees, and just start building a freaking colony of apple trees.
Graft them.
Old apple trees.
Yeah, but what part of the United States?
I want to say more of like a central location.
Texas.
Okay.
That is not central. There's no central in Texas because Texas is too damn big, and you know darn well my policy on Texas.
Well, I'm a little bit further north, but I'm still more central myself.
No, you get along the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas border.
I would say probably closer to
It
probably
still
Missouri.
gets hot. Doesn't matter.
I would say probably about Missouri, but they got a lot of really bad storms that go through there. There's also Tornado Alley, which is really bad. So I don't know. Got to watch out for that.
All those places there are going to be almost inaccessible due to price.
Yeah.
Same here for Iowa. I'm sorry to say it. It just
Like everywhere else. The problem is land is just too expensive unless there's virtually nothing on it.
because corporate people are buying Iowa farms and pretty much running out the small farmer
No, I blame government.
because they're allowing corporate entities to buy private farms.
It's like big pharma. But
That's
anyways,
what I'm talking about.
one of these days I need to rewash this thing. It's getting a little grungy. I'm doing a refill. Screw it. I don't care.
You might as well finish the bottle.
What do you think I'm doing?
Yes.
Only have like half a shot left in this thing.
Now, are you going to shoot it as a shot, or are you going to mix it?
I mean, I could, but I'm just going to refill this bastard.
Now,
I asked, nobody answered, so.
Yeah, that's all I could put in there.
my grandma said it doesn't matter what kind of tree apple tree you have. She can make something. She used to be able to make something out of it.
Ooh. Chalky milk. Maybe a mouse will show up.
But I don't have any cookies. Oh, wait, yes, I do. I got a whole box full of them.
If you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk.
Squeak, squeak, mother effer.
No, my grandma also liked to make homemade apple cider. But I was too young. I wasn't allowed to have the kind she made.
Oh, yeah, that's because usually when they made that apple cider, it was spicy apple cider.
Yeah, that's right.
I was about 8 years old when she used to do that. So
High octane apple cider.
Oh, my mom used to make nice high octane
Oh,
citrus
shit.
punch. It only took her 14 days to make it.
I don't know
Citrus
how
punch.
long it took my grandma, but she also had her own vines of grapes and stuff like that too.
She used to put it in a little 5-gallon crock, ceramic crock. She'd fill it full of the water and put in the yeast and put in some sliced oranges.
So she
lemon.
lets you watch.
Oh no, I got some of it.
No, well, thing is, mine was not allowed. I wasn't even allowed near.
I was
near the
14.
kitchen. I was only 8, so I didn't have that option. And she didn't like guys in her kitchen.
Most good. To be honest, a lot of grandmas at like around that time, they didn't. If you were in the kitchen, you were either helping or you were getting the hell out of the way.
No. She did not allow boys or men in her kitchen when she was doing stuff. Her recipes were her recipes.
She didn't want nobody pilfering her recipes. That's basically what that is.
Yep. Oh, my sisters, doesn't matter. Fine. My mom, fine. My aunts, fine. Cousins, if they were female, sure. But I wasn't allowed, exception of going to the restroom, which happened to be just off the kitchen. That's the only way I could go in there.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be nice. An apple mead would be good.
I've never tried
Apple
apple.
wine.
I've tried pear before. Pear's pretty good.
No, I'm talking about making mead with apple flavoring and honey.
I know. I've tried the pear version. And it's just as good. I love anything you can do with apples, you can do with pears.
Mead is honey.
I know that.
Okay.
It's a honey wine. It's if anybody who's done any reenacting knows that one.
I gotta get my beverage. I gotta get
Yeah,
my
I just have a hard time paying, $20 plus for a bottle.
I think Jenny's got one right over here.
Yeah.
She got it. We get she buys a bottle every year at Ren Fair. I'm not even sure if it's still there. Let me check a look.
Now,
Parsley.
I was okay paying, $16 a bottle. Not when it gets up into the mid 20s.
Oh no!
I want cherry trees too. I don't necessarily eat cherries, but it would be nice to have more cherry trees. Oh shit, this one's partially frozen. Oh, you bastard. I left it in the freezer too long.
Uh-oh.
It's a Red Bull slush. All right, I'm going to have to leave that sitting out here for a bit. Just so I can thaw out the freaking frost.
Nope. I just remembered what we did with that one.
No, obstacle, that's the problem with apple trees.
Yeah.
Cherry trees have birds, apple trees have squirrels. So you got either one of them. You've got the most annoying pests trying to eat your fruit.
Now
That's
remember,
why you got to get the
the
nets.
grayish white ones with the black collar
We gave our bottle of
are good year round.
to a friend of ours who got married last year.
I'm gonna melt this manually.
The problem with what we have mulberry, and mulberry has problem with birds.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Good luck trying to get those.
Yeah, that's the thing is we're just trying to figure out a way to save our mulberries for us.
If I had a bigger property, I would do mulberries just so I could have them in like one corner of the property where I don't have to put anything near them.
If I could send you the seeds from our mulberry tree, I would.
I don't have anywhere to stick one. Again, like I said, if I had the space for it, because you put a mulberry tree anywhere, that thing's got to be by itself in the middle of nowhere.
Well, when I was out of Milo, they had that whole hedgerow of nothing but mulberry trees.
Bottle rockets.
Great mulberries, but the thing is, you had to fight the deer off for them.
Bottle rockets.
Scare off the birds.
No, the thing is, I didn't really want to scare the deer off because I, wanted to hunt them.
No, you only do it when the fruit is ripe.
But the thing is, if I scare them away during one part of the year, they'll avoid the whole place.
Nah, they'll come back.
No, they won't.
Oh yeah, they do.
You're stupid.
To
You
a
don't
point.
learn.
Because that was the only place we had trees along that whole side, and if I scared them away from that, they were not going to come to the rest of the property.
Oh, Deb, that sucks, man. That is a lot of money right there. That 30 hives.
I remember that when that happened.
Oh yeah.
No. The thing is, they my workplace actually used to send alcohol to in that area, and they mentioned that. That was a major blow for the local economy on that.
Oh yeah, no, they'll be paying those for the rest of their lives.
I know. We deliver out that way.
Doesn't he live in Iowa?
I do.
That's what I'm saying. Aaron, I got most of the ice out. The slush. And all
What's
over my
wrong
desk.
with a alcohol slushy? Is that a margarita?
Well, the problem is it's hard to get it out of the can when it's a Slurpee.
No, but it's like in a margarita then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if I pour it into the can, but I'm trying to pour it into my cup.
No, you pour it in the can, shake it up a little bit, then pour it back out.
No, good. Yeah, you try pouring into the hole in the size of a freaking Red Bull can. That is not an easy task.
I was joking. You know that.
I don't have a.
Put it in the microwave for a few seconds.
You want me to stick an aluminum can in the microwave? Come on, Jason. Am I trying to blow up my house?
Get yourself a tea light candle, put it underneath it, let it warm up a little
I got a
bit.
whole bunch over there. Survival tea light candle, surprisingly, but
Oh, what's one of those lights that gets really, really freaking hot?
what?
Oh, a
One of
cranberry
those
meat.
flashlights that get really hot when you
Oh,
turn it on.
Deb. No, you never pay attention.
Oh, damn, that would have sucked. That would have actually. I'm not a fan of cranberries, but actually, I like cranberry juice. So never mind. I guess I'm wrong on that. I won't eat the fruit itself, but I do like cranberry
Oh,
juice.
I love the cranberry juice.
I like crab apple, the cran apple thing they do for the promotion spray. I'm sorry, that's the only way I like it. Sorry.
Obstacle. Do you have enough property to actually do a hive? You can probably, if you've got like a good amount of land, you can probably do 2 or 3 without any problems. Problem is, you got to keep them warm in the wintertime, especially in Denver.
They make little styrofoam huts you can put over them.
Can you do
You
that?
can stick them in a
Denver, though?
greenhouse.
Yeah.
I seen a place where they actually put them in a building.
On the buildings? Yeah.
No, in the building.
In the building
Oh, yeah.
with their own separate exit and entrance, but they
Yeah, they
kept
drill a
the
little
hives
hole in
warm.
there and they can go in and out. Little
Yeah.
tube, and then you can actually see the hive from the inside.
Yeah, they actually they actually had those flow hives which they can harvest from the inside.
Yeah, there used to be a spot like that when I was living in Denver. There's an area that they do a local honey. Well, I can't say local. It's like in the mountains. But they had this little hut out there. And you'd always see, every time you go over there, like the side of the building was like a 2-foot square was always just covered with bees because they had like 3-4 entrances right there. And then you could go inside and you could see the bees walking through like the little glass tubes,
Yeah.
kind of like the beehives.
There's a lot of places do that.
There's a guy who used to go to fair. He went by the name at the fair was what was it? Brother Matthew, and he had Noble Bees hive bees, honey, and some of the best honey. He always brought some kind of vintage or antique beekeeping equipment, and you had to identify it, which made a conversation piece and all that other stuff, which was really cool. And he actually had a little hive of bees. You could see all the bees right there, right next to him.
Right.
It looked like
If you had bees, what happened to them? Did you kill them? Did they succumb to blight?
They removed the tree.
Maybe. Did they get the mites? Yeah.
did the wasps get to him?
Yeah, wasps usually only get one or two of them, but half the time the bees take them out anyway because they just swarm them and they overheat them and they basically cook them.
Oh, that was cool, Deb. Oh, gave them away. Okay. Nothing bad. Just they pass them on to somebody who actually knew would use them better. Better than letting them go and go wild or whatever.
Or waiting till they no, yeah, it's you probably just gave them to somebody local that does where he's at. I guarantee there's more than one person up there that has hives that can tend to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to have somebody who knows what they're doing than somebody who doesn't.
I was talking to a gentleman a couple of weeks ago about bees in the store. And he gave me the phone number to contact the guy. It says, I'm not looking for, domesticated bees. I want a wild hive. He goes, why do you want a wild hive? It says, because they can control the Barilla mites all by themselves. And then a light bulb went on in his head. He goes, really?
This is
Why they're wild.
they I mean, I've heard somebody who used to be able to say you could transport bees to certain orchards to help them pollinate them.
Yeah, we have them here.
They rent them out for a little bit and then they move them.
Yeah, they keep them there for a few months and then they go back up north.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was I heard that right. So I mean, that's why I was going to make
They
sure.
do that across the whole U.S. The farmers actually
No, that's why I'm saying
rent the bees.
because I've never seen that in actual action. I just seen an article on a TV news show about something.
No,
Right.
like I said,
For another one.
a lot of the farmers will actually rent the bees.
That's what I heard. They were renting bees, so I didn't understand what that meant.
So not only is the beekeeper actually making money off the honey, he's also renting his bees out.
So it gets double paid.
Yeah, renting the bees actually covers the cost of the transportation and staying with the bees at that location.
Yeah, I was going to say the beekeeper has to be on site with the bees to make sure the bees are in
Not
health.
on the site, but within a certain distance, like at a hotel or a secondary
Local.
house.
Yeah, but still technically on site. Not like, 10 feet away from the beehive at all time, but, wherever they transport the bees, the beekeeper's got to be there. Which usually sucks because if the beekeeper's got 30 beehives and he's got one in an apple orchard, then the other 29 beehives are sitting on his property not being maintained. But if he's got helpers, then yes. It's also good with vodka. Yeah, people rent out goats too if you've got a problem with a pasture that needs to be cleared,
Yeah, I might have to do
which
that.
will do it pretty damn quick.
They'll eat pretty much anything.
Oh, they'll eat that stuff right straight to the ground.
They did. I think someone did it with what is that stuff?
Sheep.
No. The plant from that gets kudzu.
Oh yeah, goats will eat. Goats will pretty much
I saw a guy on TikTok that said he rented them out, and they cleared a whole kudzu field, like with the exception of the ones that it grew up in the thing, but they basically cleared the bottom portions of it all out. They couldn't get into the trees, obviously, but
Yeah,
everything that was above
for one.
a certain height with them, they cleared out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot afford the fencing my property in for a goat to mow the lawn for me.
No, they'll actually bring in their own pens to do it.
Yeah, you just got to be out there watching the goats. For the most part, the goats know where they need to be, where they don't need to be.
Or I can just put a harness on it with a long leash.
No, just let them go. They'll do what they do.
Run a goat on a lead from one tree to the next. That's got like a 3-foot. You got 20 feet cable span going that way, but the goat's
Yeah.
on like a 10.
Well, the guy I saw, he actually has his own portable fencing that keeps them in. And he just in the area where you guys want it done, and he just lets them go in that area.
Oh, a lot of the times you can just put the shock collars like you do for dogs with the.
Put like an invisible fence set up.
Yeah.
It gets so far out, then it shocks them, and then keeps them in the area.
Oh, the minute that collar crosses that border, it shocks the crap out of them.
Well, it tones before it shocks.
And what?
It gives off a tone before it gets close enough.
So basically, you're going to teach them to tone.
Yep. To stay away. Oh, nope.
They'll hear the tone and then they'll get shocked. And then once they get shocked, they're like, oh, okay, so I need to listen to whatever that beeping noise was or whatever that sound was. I hear that. I can't go any farther.
That means if I hear that sound, I get shocked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rabbits are a good obstacle along with chickens. I do want bees. I've actually been given permission to get bees on the property, but at the moment, I don't have the space for them.
Or the money.
Only thing we can have is 2 chickens.
I can get chickens, but again, I got to see what the cost of chickens is down in my area. I have to check a couple of places, but you can do chickens. But right now,
if you know somebody who already has chickens, you might be able to get some, fertilized eggs and hatch them that way.
I could pester my neighbor for them, but again, I'd have to get a brooder. I'd have to get an incubator. I'd have to find a spot to stick the incubator.
Have
where
them
it's not
incubate a couple chickens for you. Have them, into hatchlings, and you go from there.
Hey, quiet.
Now, my neighbor's not going to do that because, like I said, the guy like 2 houses over has chickens. But if I get eggs, I don't know if he still has the rooster or not. Is the only problem. Because he's got like 6 dogs, and the dogs actually took out the 4 ducks that he had.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And ducks are not exactly docile. You can piss off a duck, it'll go after you.
Just got a quick question for obstacle on his goats. Was that for meat goats or is that milk goats?
Cleaning goats.
Just goats in general.
Well, the thing is, they do. Some are better than others at different things. If they're not good at milking, they're good at eating.
That's how you get milking goats. You got to let them eat.
Not always. Some are better at producing milk than others. And
Like
some are just there to be eaten. My friend Grey Wolf, he's the one that married us. He raises goats. We actually had goat at his wedding.
Yeah, if you let your rabbits just go free range, then yeah, you can get a lot of rabbits very quick. But the problem is you have to dispatch them or you have to take them to freezer camp.
It doesn't take long.
No, rabbits can get out of hand very quick.
For this one lady who's also on TikTok, she raises rabbits for meat. It takes 6 weeks from the time they're born to they're fully they're big enough to be eaten.
God, Jesus Christ, I forgot Stephanie and Chris from.
You're going to actually. That's cool for packing.
Oh,
that's cool. Yeah. If you train them for harness, you can go make your goat cart.
Oh, if you're going to do that, you got to talk to he's in Colorado. I think he's in Colorado as well. He's oh my God, my brain is just drawing a freaking blank. He's got like 2 goats that he always takes backpacking with him and his dog.
Yeah, I know that there's a guy. There was some guys who.
I just had a vision. Obstacle with a tactical goat.
Tactical goat.
Just carrying 2 shotguns or a couple of.
all the molly gear on the side of it.
Kind of reminded me of that one thing I heard from a guy in California that he couldn't carry concealed carry, but his dog could.
That's the funny part.
Mm-hmm. It's
There's
perfectly legal
lot
for
of
the
ways.
on the dog.
Oh, there's a lot of ways around certain laws. It's like I'm not open carrying. It's right there. The dog's holding it, not me.
Yeah. I can see it right there, the name tag right on the front of its chest.
Yes, thank you.
GTO.
Dan's got it right there. Firebox Stove. He's the one. He's the gentleman with the goats. He's got 2-pack goats, and he goes out there with his dogs.
There was
Yeah.
Obstacle. Make sure you get a
Firebox.
pass to put
There
it
was
on
a
his
crew
chest
in,
or his name.
Western North Carolina that used goats to pack in supplies to some of the places that couldn't get access after the
That's what you do.
hurricane. Well, they didn't have donkeys; they used goats. Another crew did use horses and mules and stuff like that, but this guy used goats.
Yeah. So yeah, Grace. Dan got it for me. Firebox Stove. I always thought that guy was like a representative for Firebox Stoves. He's actually the freaking owner of the company.
That's what the guy said about the ones they were packing in supplies. Yeah, there, Dano. They may not be able to carry as much as a horse or a pack mule, but they do carry quite a bit.
Goats can still carry up to like 40 something or 40 or 50 pounds. You're not sitting out there like a mule packing that thing with like 200 pounds worth of gear, but
Right, but they do carry. They and like he said, they don't spook and run off.
and donkeys are surprisingly the reason why a lot of people have donkeys is because they make damn good watchdogs.
Right.
GTO, really?
Great teacheroni. Sorry, wrong. You say GTO, and I'm thinking of an anime.
The car.
Oh man, he popped. Ouch.
Yeah, GTO stands for got taken out. No, that's because a donkey will curb stomp a coyote. That's why they make good watch.
And bite them and break their neck.
Oh,
Yeah,
goats don't
out of them.
play with them either. You don't mess with a goat.
You can mess with the goat. It's the rams you got to worry about.
Well, Mark says that they are, goats are good all around, and meat and defense animals. That would be weird if he started naming his goats after cars.
I'm gonna name my goat Dodge Ram. Why'd you name your goat Dodge Ram?
No, just name him Dodge. Just name him Dodge, and he's a Ram.
Go, Orale, Ranchero, get over here.
Oh, then that means that you got to name a fainting goat an El Camino.
Not a Pinto?
Yeah, I guess maybe a Pinto, yeah, because the Pinto was the one that exploded if you hit the gas tank.
Exactly.
Now, if he gets little miniature goats, okay, it'd be a gremlin.
Or Mini.
No, that would be the God, what was it? Not the Suzuki Sidekick. It was the
Yugo.
stupid micro Jeep the Geo Metro.
Oh, Geo.
Fainting goats would be a Geo Metro.
How about the Yugo? You ever call him Yugo. You ever seen one of those? My cousin had one of those.
Yes, you go nowhere in those.
Sorry, trying to get back onto the thing, because I actually have a gardening question about
Yes.
goats. Can they pull small plows or not? If they're too small? Like a gardening plow,
doesn't have
like a
enough.
gardening-
I don't think they would have enough strength in the legs to pull a plow.
I mean, not from like ground that hasn't been plowed before. I'm talking about that stuff in the past has been used before, just to replant. Because I know I've seen those furrowing plows, I guess what they call them, the little smaller, skinnier blade ones.
Yeah, those basically just overturn the dirt, but you need something. Yeah, goat's not going to be able to do that. The best you're going to get with a goat is like maybe possibly putting a like 3 or 4 foot wide rake on a harness and having him drag the rake back and forth. You might get about
Okay.
that.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I mean, kept trying to. I mean, you said you wanted to keep it more gardening related, so that's why I was trying to reel it back in.
Lawn Boy and Snapper needless to say they did a terrible job.
So,
Yeah, it's because those things don't weigh nothing. We used to just put. You didn't hear this from me, but we used to push them over as teenagers. It's like a cow when you startle a cow. You're like cows when they're sleeping. You can just push them over. There's no resistance.
Hey, Cliff, you said you wanted to keep it to the gardening section. I've been trying to do that.
Yes, but my Grace has said Michael said the Geo Metro got washed away in the road.
Okay. I tried.
Oh yeah, goats technically, yeah, you can't unless you have like a 20-foot high fence with nothing around them. Yeah, you can't keep goats in. They will not unless you have them trained.
And you got to have really good, sturdy, actual fencing, according to my friend, because he said anything less than the really thick fencing.
Chain link. If you don't have chain link or cattle panel, they will get out.
Yeah.
But if your goats are trained enough, so basically if you train your goats from like little ones, goatettes or whatever the hell a young goat is called, foals, if you have them
Kids.
trained from young
They're called
age,
kids.
they will stay in the yard as because they're like, oh well, we don't want to go anywhere, but they'll follow you around. Because I asked the guy about the firebox stove one time. I was like, how do you get your goats to just follow you without a leash? And he goes, years of training. He's like, I basically had these goats since they were little ones, and I've trained them to follow me. So everywhere I go, they go with me. They don't even have to worry about a leash.
That's kind of cool, though.
Move it.
So
I'm thinking
he's got 2 pet goats that just follow him and his dog everywhere out in the woods.
like 20 feet.
Oh,
Leash.
so no, that won't work. I think I remember reading somewhere. Please forgive me. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a way of harvesting potatoes with you're pulling something behind a. They usually have horses they can do it with. I think the Amish did it for harvesting potatoes with something they just drag behind them. They digs the potatoes out of the ground.
Yeah, that's a potato harvester.
Yeah, but could you do that with goats?
No,
They're too light.
too deep.
Too deep.
Problem is those things go like 3 feet into the ground.
Okay, I wasn't sure, so that's why I was wondering. I mean, I know they do them here in Iowa, so I wasn't sure.
And those things go like 3 or 4 feet in the ground, and they basically they're on a track. They dig in, and then they pull a track that essentially dumps the dirt through the mesh screen, but drops the potatoes onto another conveyor that drops them into the trailer.
Well, remember, this has all got to be manual powered, so that's that's the big.
All right. Good night, Cecilia. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by.
Nice to see ya.
Be well, be safe, and we will see you on the next one. Perhaps tomorrow on Dan's Live, assuming I can make it, because we'll see what happens with the weather. If the weather's good, I might be outside doing a little bit of yard work trying to get stuff finished.
Our weather will not get any better until after Thursday. It's supposed to be in the 70s after Thursday.
Yeah, I've got in the daytime it's warm. It's like 60 to 70 to 80, but at the night it's dropping down to like 36 to 40. So we'll see what happens, but I really want to get out there. I'm tired of being inside of a building all day long. I'm stuck inside work, and then I'm stuck inside my house because the weather sucks.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I've been there like a year and a half. I just want to get outside and start growing food.
I want to go camping. I was really jealous of hearing about Rob going camping out and having a campfire in the backyard.
Yeah, that stinking turd hasn't popped. He hasn't come back yet.
Nope.
Who?
He said, Rob. He said he's going to be. He said he's bringing back snacks, and he's not. He hasn't come back yet.
Or he said BBS, correct?
Yeah, bringing back snacks.
Is that what it means, or does that mean something else?
No, that means be back soon.
Oh, okay.
Technically, but I'm being funny. He was supposed to be bringing back snacks.
What's the kind of snacks would you expect? S'mores?
You know what? That technically is a snack.
Yeah.
Because you really only eat like 2 or 3, maybe 4 of those out there, and then you're done. Because there's just
I've
way
never
too much.
been able to eat a completed s'more because I always eating the ingredients separately because I like them all separate.
Technically, well, I guess completed, no. Component-wise, yes.
So I'd eat the marshmallows, I'd eat the chocolate, I'd eat the graham cracker, but I can never eat them all together.
Yeah, they call it smart pills.
Say what?
Rabbit turds.
Oh,
Well, see that's the thing. That's what I'm asking though, because Dan says, do they provide fertilizer or does the expense outweigh the benefits? So I asked on what species.
I know the rabbits did for Jenny and her parents when they were growing rabbits at her place, but that's all I know.
See, that's the thing though with rabbit pellets is rabbit pellets you can use almost instantly
Immediately.
as a fertilizer additive, as opposed to like chicken excrement, because you got to wait for that one.
Because it's got a lot more
Pretty here.
ammonia in content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, rabbit pellets are basically just, or it's literally no different than a deer turd.
So what if you mixed rabbit with chicken manure? Would that make it process
It would
faster?
make it a richer manure, but you'd still have to wait to burn off a lot of the uric acid
Okay.
in there. Otherwise, you'll end up burning your plants.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So just using just rabbits, it would be better.
Yeah, I just had a thought.
What's the thought?
When he said you put the rabbits together with the chickens, I'm thinking of a Reese's peanut butter egg.
You got Easter on the brain.
Oh man. See that's the problem though. Obstacle Colin, knowing him, probably just cooks them separately and never eats them all at once.
What?
The s'more.
No, I like them plain. I don't cook them.
He doesn't even make s'mores. He's just eating the graham cracker, the Hershey's, and then the marshmallow.
I got many
Yeah.
marshmallows in there. I'm just snacking on.
I would say goat and rabbit would be a little bit better, but yeah, you can do goat and chicken. But again, with the chicken manure, you got to wait a while for the basically for the ammonia in the or the uric acid or whatever to dissipate a bit before you can add it up. Like I said, otherwise it's too rich and it'll end up burning your plants.
Yeah, like I said, actually,
Goats.
turkey is probably the best.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because we used to put it on our golf greens all the time.
I just want to know what's the best rabbits to have for both meat.
The product was called Sustain. Sustain.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
rabbits were raised for
It was
some. What's the best?
It was a
one?
3-2-2 fertilizer. Ooh, man, did it stink, but it worked. Yeah, cow and horse, you do have to cure it, especially with cow and horse, because the seeds actually make it pass through the digestive system. So you have to break it up, and then you have to turn it.
Okay.
So anything from New Zealand whites, Californians, or Flemish giants, but Flemish giants are like freaking huge when it comes to rabbits. They get really big.
You know, this always throws me off. Okay, because essentially a lot of the mammals, or a lot of the animals on the planet are herbivores, which is just giant piles of basically chewed up grass or plants or whatever.
Compost.
How healthy of a field can you get scooping up an entire truckload of elephant shit? You would think out there on the plains where those things roam around, natives would be out there scooping up elephant shit left and right, leaving it in a pile for like 3 months, and then using it on their fields.
I heard about people using camel dung for fuel. That's about all I know.
So, well, I mean, technically anything can be used as a fuel. You let an elephant turd dry up, and you now have an elephant-sized turd block of basically charcoal that you just put an ember to, and that thing will just smolder for days. But again, you don't ever hear about like tribes or communities using elephant fertilizer, or basically elephant dung, as fertilizer for any of their crops. So just randomly thinking outside the box, like, why don't they do that, or why don't we ever hear about it?
Yes, Grace. I remember helping the alfalfa farmers with the rabbit problems doing that.
I have to wait until August or September for rabbit season. Unfortunately,
I'm actually shocked on that one, Obstacle. I would have honestly assumed that chickens and rabbits would have been pecking at each other or going at each other.
Nope, they're perfectly fine roaming around with each other.
how do you think the Easter Bunny gets its eggs?
I don't even want to know, to be honest. There are a lot of things from history that are very unnatural, and I no longer want the answer to. Because, first off, rabbits don't lay eggs.
Yeah, I know that. Well, they have eggs. They used to use them for pregnancy tests.
How would you use an egg as a pregnancy test?
No, they use a rabbit for pregnancy test.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure there was some sort of scientific logic behind that at the time.
They would inject something from human female into a rabbit, and an enzyme would occur, and the only way they could find out is by killing the rabbit and examining the body and all this other stuff. So they killed a lot of rabbits back in the day.
Oh yeah, they did.
It's a good thing rabbits are very good at multiplying.
Well, they ended up coming in with a better method, obviously, but
Use
still.
rabbit eggs for pregnancy tests. That's
Yep.
very unsettling.
It is.
30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
But
See,
I mean,
verification.
guess you had to do something to figure something out.
I guess you missed that episode of
MASH.
where Margaret thought she was pregnant.
Well, I mean, it's unsettling, but I mean, it sort of makes sense because you think about it throughout history. How many people have eaten things before they died and were like, "Don't eat that"?
Or I ate what? Or I drank the what?
Yeah. What kind of mushroom did you eat before you started throwing up everywhere?
What a pretty mushroom. I'm going to try a bite. That's the last words you hear.
See, that's exactly how I imagine history throughout the ages is somewhere along the lines, there was a group of people in the forest and they were like, hey, that's a pretty looking mushroom or whatever the heck that is. I wonder if that's edible. And they go over there and eat it and that guy just died on the spot.
But
And
they didn't tell
everybody else in the
anybody, and
party's
someone
like,
else came along and said, I wonder what he was eating. Let me try it.
yeah.
And they died.
You see a mushroom with a bite out of it and the dude dead next to it and everyone starts sketching that mushroom and be like, don't eat this thing.
After the sixth person died, because they didn't realize that was what's killing him.
Yeah, it's like, again, throughout history, the amount of people that have died eating foods before we all realized those are the ones you don't eat and the other ones are the ones you eat. So,
I see the obstacle finally caught up with the rabbit eggs joke from way back when.
yeah, the obstacle, I didn't know that one either. That one, that's sometimes you learn new things when you're on a live stream with me.
I said Easter eggs, but that's what I meant. But yeah,
A four-legged chicken, a four-legged furry chicken. That is
Really
never
big
heard a
ears.
rabbit called that. I usually just call them free dinner because I see them all over the. You know what's really funny is I see them at work running through the parking lot.
oh yeah, I see them all the time. But the thing is, I usually see them in the places I can't touch them. In town, inside the city limits. I will be out in 5 minutes because I am done. I'm tired.
You know what I haven't seen tonight? CR has not popped in.
Talk about food. We're talk about food. He may show up.
We have been technically.
No.
gardening
We're talking
is all
around food, but not actually meals.
carrots,
Fried rabbit is
radishes,
amazing.
shrimp. I kind of I want to turn one of my tanks into a live well tank for what is that? My brain's died all of a sudden. Damn it! My brain literally just took a shit on me. What is it? Where you got fish in a tank and then you grow plants on it as well?
Aquaponics?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
or either aquaponics or hydroponics, one of the two. I can't remember. Which
Aquaponics.
They're both. Hydroponics
Yeah,
is
I
where
want
you're
to do
growing
something
plants.
like that,
Aquaponics is actually fish in plants.
but I would have to get a 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot tank in order to do that. And those damn tanks are almost $200.
I actually heard something about
ICB tank.
someone using cattle troughs. They're using crawdads to keep their cattle troughs clear of algae and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works?
Yeah, you can get cleaner shrimp too and do the same thing.
I did not know that. That's something cool. You can
But
get
the problem is you got to keep them warm. In a lot of colder areas, if you do not have a heater inside that tank, they will freeze. Now, here's the funny thing I've learned about crustaceans: you can freeze them and thaw them out, and they just keep going.
A good example of aquaponics would be Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser.
Earth Dweller Homestead.
No, have you seen the movie Blast from the Past?
I might have decades
That's
ago.
where they were in the bomb shelter and they thought
Christopher
the world
Walken.
ended and it did, but they had a big aquaponics system down there raising tilapia.
Biodome.
Biodom's another example.
Was in Blast from the Past.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser. Yeah, and Christopher Walken's.
Christopher Walken always creeped me out. That dude was so... I don't know why.
Movie alert. Movie alert.
Trying not to, but we're trying not to. Coons, groundhogs.
August 1st.
No, this was actually in reference to what we were talking about. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I brought mine up.
August 1st. New Naked Gun movie.
Really?
With Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Now, I don't know
Somebody
if that, I
died.
don't consider him an actual comedian type person, so I don't know.
No. I'm gonna watch it.
I heard that they're doing...
I didn't like the guy who used to do them anyway. So Leslie
Reed
Nelson?
is doing, what
Leslie
was it?
Nelson I never liked. So I never liked the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Leslie Nelson had that weird humor. What is it? Damn it! What was the Keanu Reeves one? He did like 4 of them, and he was basically like you couldn't kill a guy because he was like a mad like pro assassin.
I don't know. You're talking about movies, and I'm trying to. I'm just.
I know, it's just 'cause
I'm trying to read what Obstacle said about tilapia. So
Yeah.
I was talking about actual trying to keep on topic. So sort of.
Yeah, you don't have to do just tilapia. You can also do bluegill.
Well, but they used tilapia in the movie, so I don't know
Yeah.
if that was an actual real thing, or is they just?
I would
something
honestly
they used in the
probably just
movie?
buy a whole crap ton of goldfish and just shove them in there.
Well, they turn into giant carp, so yeah, that might work. Basically, that's koi fish.
Oh, well, I mean, I could buy koi fish. Shit, because I mean, the biopark down here, they got koi fish that are like 2 feet long.
They had them at the botanical center.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our biopark has koi fish in the front of their amphitheater. They got this big old tank for them.
At the
Them suckers are huge.
Adventureland here in Des Moines, they actually have catfish that they have feeding stations along this one bridge, and you basically for a quarter you get a bunch of handful of food. They're basically like dog food. You toss it out there, and they're like piranha.
Yeah, that's the same thing with our area.
But they're
There's a little
freaking-
vendor that you can.
They're freaking huge.
Oh yeah, them koi fish are like two. Some of them koi fish are like 2.5 feet
This is
long.
not. These are more catfish.
Catfish get mad huge anyway.
Yeah, but rainbow trout would be a good choice. Like you said, crawdads, shrimp, like you mentioned, might work too. A little combination, a little ecosystem type setup might actually be a better idea anyway. That way you can harvest a little bit of everything for variety.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. That's why the aquaponics is so good, because it's basically a self-contained ecosystem.
Yeah, that way you're not over using any particular one piece at a time.
Yeah, roots grow down into the water, create their own habitat. Your plants continue to grow as long as they get sunlight.
And the fish create the nitrogen and stuff that the plants need and all that stuff.
Yeah, any of the water the water that you pump into the plants drains down and it pulls out, any sort of nutrients or any sort of follicles or whatever, bugs, whatever. Fish go munch on that and then basically poop out the water and blah, blah, blah. And just throw your,
And they also they produce oxygen too, so that's a good thing on top of that.
there is definitely nothing wrong with just throwing. Well, the problem is with throwing fish in a swimming pool is they will all be dead within a couple of days.
Not true. There's a
Fish
guy.
do not like chlorinated water.
Well, there's a guy who's also on TikTok who's been going along. He's down in Florida. He's been finding big fish in these people's ponds and stuff, and swimming pools, because the water, from hurricanes get up and they just flood their pools with fish.
Oh yeah, it's also filtering out all the water. You got 20,000 gallons of water pouring into your swimming pool. Yeah, you're basically all that chlorine that's in there is gone.
And he's getting tons of exotic fish and other kinds that are just sitting in these ponds that are these pools that are just green as all get out. He's seining these swimming pools and he's getting big fish because they got washed in there, I guess.
Well, come on, Drops. You don't like fish nibbling on your bits while you're swimming around? How's that any different than swimming in a lake?
So what a lot of counties will do is they'll put little mosquito fish in the green pools. Keep the mosquitoes.
I'm going to be out of here, guys, because I need to get some sleep.
All right, be well, be safe. Take care. Have a good one, Colin.
Don't stay up too late, brother.
Later.
Bye, everybody.
Yes. Mosquito fish.
Yep.
Aren't those essentially like minnows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really gotta see if I can get a good aquaponics system set up. But the problem is I gotta figure out where to put it on the property.
Well, I've thought about doing an aquaponics here, using a big swimming pool. I can pump it out of my well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can use that water to actually pump out of the pool and water my plants.
So basically, like wastewater or gray water transfer. Yeah. See, the thing is, I actually thought about redoing and remaking a pond up front in the corner of the house on the property, like over in this way. Problem is, the gas line runs right there, right where I want to put it.
Yeah.
So I don't want anything to rupture, potentially seep into the ground and corrode the gas line, and then, start leaking up natural gas, and then all of a sudden, something sparks, and then bam, there goes my house.
Yeah.
Or there goes the house. Nice, rain topped off his pool. I just need rain. If I can get some rain, that'd be nice. But I haven't gotten any. It's kind of annoying. Should have already gotten some rain by now, but nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what size I want to do. If I want to do a small one or if I do want to do a large one. Maybe I might just do like a tiny one. Might just go get me like a large storage bin and just kind of do like a mini aquaponics out of that. Just cut the lid in half and one side, just basically not throw the lid away, but just cut the lid in half so I have two halves. That way I can pull the lid half off. Let my fish run around in there, throw a pump in there that runs onto a bucket that sits on top of the other lid, or however I want to do it. That just fits in there and just drill holes in it so it drips, or kind of do the same way the Earth Dwellers does. I got to figure out, I keep looking at that video and how he does that, but he's got that siphon pump.
Yeah.
That it's basically like two PVC pipes, one inside the other. One's capped off, but it has holes on the bottom. But I got to look at it to see how he has that attached, because I want to do the same kind of concept with my 55-gallon water barrels. But I'm going to do that on a raised platform. For the water thingy that I showed you guys a while back for the linked units of water where they just come out of the same barrel, and then I can do a full flow valve or attach it to a hose and then run it to whatever. And I'm basically just using 110 gallons of water pressure to go wherever. But because of the way it's designed, it'll suck all the water out to like an inch of the bottom, which is more than what I can get with my water container. So I gotta look at that thing again, how he does that, and mentally figure it out because my brain can't wrap around it. I know conceptually, I know how it works. I just got to put it into action. But I was going to go 3-inch pipe, but then I realized I'm like 3 inches is way too damn big. I only need like 2-inch. 2-inch pipe will be more than enough for 255-pound barrels. Because it's those connector pieces. Each one of them connector pieces was like $25, $30, something like that, or $18. They're expensive as hell.
So, the thing about it, just getting that that cheap pool for like what, $500.
I was just gonna say, get one of the like the kiddie pools that you get in like Walmart.
No, I'm thinking like 12 feet across, 14 feet across.
Stock tank.
Yeah, something like a stock tank. Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the only ones. Or are you talking about like a full-on stand-up, like 3 or 4 foot high by 16 foot long swimming pool?
Yes.
Oh, so you're going You're going big route.
Oh yeah. I want something that's got a large reserve.
Yeah, close to tomorrow.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
I bet Deb was sitting over there.
Yep.
Are we going to bed soon?
Yeah. But taking medicine. Yeah. So what I was thinking about doing is putting little pads out there so you can put like your greens in.
Yeah.
And have them float on the water.
Yeah, you can do that with like a trash can lid. Just drill some holes in it, and then put glue like a foamy on top or a foamy under it, and then it'll just float around.
Yeah. I was thinking about just throwing in bluegill.
Yeah, that's a huge swimming pool though, man. That's a big ass fish tank.
Manage a little bluegill in there and make it a little ecosystem. Have little minnows in there. Every once in a while, throw some fish pellets in there. A little fish feeder. Have it go on for about 2 seconds once a day.
Yep. Give me a second, folks. I got to go see a man about a bush.
Yeah.
I'm going to let this guy hold the fort for about a minute and a half.
And then you hook it up to a pump and hook up some irrigation drip line and have it water the garden. Just have it, get a little windmill and have it pump it out of the well and then put it into the swimming pool. Put an overflow on it and put it out into the woods. So it's always filling. Let me get my glasses back on so I can at least read all this. You were thinking 270 gallons and I'm sitting there thinking bigger. How much on a bush? Dang, Grace, that's a lot of rain. Yeah, we only got about 1 inch of rain today. Not only that, if we happen to have a fire, I have water to help fight the fire. Because we don't have any fire hydrants here.
Man, I'm gone for like a minute and all kinds of chat in here. A lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm sitting here thinking going big, and
No, you really don't need to go big. I mean, unless you're trying to do like aquaponics for like 25 people.
well, no, I can go fishing a lot easier.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you go, would you really go fishing in your own swimming pool, or would you just go scoop and just go take a fishing net and just scoop them out?
Oh no, I would have more fun with the ultralight fishing rod.
You sit there, make a like tiny little platform on one side, and just sit in there and fish.
Yeah, little canoe, kayak.
Yeah, Grace, I would love if you shared some of that rain with me. I could take half of that rain and probably fill every one of my water containers within a couple of hours. Actually, it wouldn't even take me a couple of hours, to be honest. I could probably do solid rain. Probably would fill every one of my containers in an hour.
Oh, can you imagine how fast that would fill up my pool if I had gutters on my house?
No obstacle. I was going to see a man about a bush. Go cement a bush.
Dr. Bush?
Bush light. No, even if I did cement a bush, that bush would probably break out of the cement because plants and cement just don't mix. Pun intended.
Yep.
Have you ever just seen a weed grow through like a piece of cement or like in the crack, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, the cement's like 4 feet wide because there's a big old hole in it?
Oh yeah.
Man, everybody's getting rain except for me. I want rain. I need water. I'm tired of having to refill my water containers with the freaking hose. Because the water company's like, why is this guy doing 100 gallons of water a day? But I do it like every week or so. But one good rainstorm, heavy rain, and I can fill every one of my water barrels in like an hour. Except for all the ones on the back of the shed, because for some reason, that takes forever. Even though that's only 4 44 gallons and a 55. Problem is the surface area of which the water is landing on. My house itself is like 40 by 80. So I got a huge surface area on this that just sucks. It collects rain like nobody's business. The 100-gallon water barrel that I basically have sitting right here, right behind me, behind this shelf here. Good rainstorm, I can fill that thing in 5 minutes. But I've got my transfer pump outside that I attach to the bottom of that, and then I just run a hose to every one of my other barrels. So I have a 55-gallon barrel here. I have another 55-gallon barrel against the fence. I have another 55 over here, a 35, and a 44. Of a park built grown over the top of water. A waterfront park in Louisville near me is built over on top of the Ohio River. I would assume they'd have to build a substructure to keep that thing from sinking.
Okay, here we go. An 18 by 48 inch tall, 18 feet. It is 1,500 gallons.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of goddamn water. That is a lot of water.
Yeah, it is.
I would do that. I would not do that out of vinyl or nylon. That would have to be a steel tank because
Yeah, it'd be steel and liner.
the minute you get a scratch or a tear in that thing, all that water is going everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about flood control? No, that's 1,500 gallons of water just everywhere in your yard.
That's a flood irrigation.
Yeah.
But I figured that's plenty.
I almost kind of think what you need to do, Jason, is you need to dig a hole in your yard where the floodplain is at, stick a 55-gallon drum in there, a trash barrel, and then stick a water pump in the bottom of that thing. So every time it rains and you get all that water and it floods into that bucket, you can just pump that water wherever the hell you want to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's 55 gallons at the most, because they don't make, as far as I know, they don't make a trash can bigger than a 55-gallon, other than whatever your standard dump bin is.
No,
or
but
like waste management.
I would just get a culvert, 2-foot culvert, 10 feet long, and put it in the ground here.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of it, put about 2 feet of pea gravel at the bottom.
Well, you'd have to. Otherwise, your hose, your tube will float.
Mm-hmm. So I just drop a sump pump down in there.
Would you go 10 foot this way or this way?
10 foot down.
So kind of similar to like what Mallory did for when she was trying to find water for her well.
Yeah, our water table here is extremely shallow.
Yeah, so then you probably wouldn't have to go more than 4 feet before you hit water. That's how it is over here. I dig 3-4 feet and my ground starts getting really moist. Moist. Yeah, pool liners are cheap. The ones I want are the pond liners, because that's like 9 mil or like 13 mil plastic.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, but a pool that size, that's plenty of water to water a garden and stuff like that.
Oh God, that's more than enough. You'd be able to water your garden for like a solid month, like every day. Ooh, sorry, folks. Sinus is going haywire all of a sudden, which is funny because I'm not like congested right now. As you can hear, I don't sound like I'm nasally.
Yeah, right now that pool right now is going for $498.
That's actually not bad.
It's on sale right now. It was $945, but it's on sale right now.
Yeah, see, I was getting those Intex, those inflatable ones that are.
No, I'm not getting inflatable. It's gonna be a sale.
No, what bugs me with those ones is, okay, it says it's 10 feet wide, but it's 10 feet wide at the bottom and then goes to like 8 feet at the top.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they got that inflatable ring that basically, as water pressure goes, that's what holds it together from collapsing.
No, that one's not a steel tank. That is a soft side. I don't want a soft side.
You're better off getting the like a 12-foot metal stock tank. My uncle had one of those. I think his was I think it was a 12-footer that he used to have in his yard. I wonder if he still has that. I should ask next time I talk to him. I should ask him if he still has that. Because when I used to go to his house, like when we would just visit, me and my cousin, and my sister, we would just sit in there for hours just swimming in that thing. Oh yeah, no, the plastic pool liners are trash. You got to get those pond liners. Because like I said, that pond liner is like 9 or 13 mil, thick plastic, or I guess plastic. But I mean, yeah, you have to go heavy duty, otherwise, any sort of pressure on any sort of pokey item, and it's gonna pop a hole in it, and all your water's gonna leak out a little tiny hole. Actually, no, what's really good, the ones you really want to use, which really sucks because they only sell them in like 5-foot pieces. Shower liners.
The what?
The shower liner.
Oh.
That's like a solid piece of like 1/16 inch rubber that you would normally put like along your shower walls or like under your shower.
Yeah.
But again, they only sell them in like, it's like 5-foot by like 8-foot sections or something like that. But they're stupid expensive. If they sold that in a roll that was like I don't know, 15 foot by 20 foot. Can you imagine the amount of stuff you could put what you could do with that? I mean, that's a good sized little pond right there that you could dig a hole and stick that piece in. And you're not going to poke a hole in that because that stuff is shit. It's basically like an inner tube. Is about how thick that rubber is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how thick those things are.
Yeah. I'd have to check next time I'm at Home Depot to see how thick those are. But yeah, I think it's like 1/16 of an inch. They're super thick. Stupid thick.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a steel pool right now.
Oh, the Drops is talking about like basically like a preformed pool insert.
I can't do that here.
Isn't that basically what those like little pond tubs are? Preformed. You just gotta dig the hole to stick the pond in.
Yeah.
And then you just drop the whole molded plastic piece in there. Actually, no. If that's the case, you could just get a couple of 55-gallon plastic barrels and just cut them in half. Not equator, pole to pole.
Yeah.
Drop them in there. But you're looking at that still only gives you like what, 2 25-gallon pools. But if you connect them the right way, get a nice seam on the ends and just drill like a tube, like a hole, like 1 or 2 holes in the middle, like on the ass end.
Oh, here's one right here. Here's a, believe it or not, this is going to be, how much is that one?
I'm almost out of beverage, by the way, folks. We're going to go another 9.5 or 8.5 minutes, and then we're going to cut it out.
12-foot round, 36 inches deep, steel wall tank, $298.
That's actually not bad. Do you ever, throw a picture up here? We'll consider that part of gardening because we'll consider it part of hydroponics, which is part of gardening, or can be a part of gardening depending on how intricate you want to get with your gardening skills.
Let me find it first on my computer because I was looking at it on my phone.
Can't you just look at the website itself?
I think I found it.
Yeah. See, again, if I had the property, like 2 to 5 acres, I would love to do all this stuff. I'd have no problems doing it. Financially, I'd probably be screwed, but doesn't mean I wouldn't want to try it.
Here we go, right there.
That's a steel one?
Yeah,
That looks plastic.
it's steel. Steel wall, above ground swimming pool package.
Blue Wave Capri 12-foot round, 36
$500 off.
Steel
$500 off.
I wonder if it's like rolled steel, kind of like an aluminum sheet.
It's just painted.
See, that still looks like it's like a rolled sheet of aluminum, and that it just has a floor that you have to somehow under. But I don't know. That'd be a bitch to transport it because if it's steel wall, it's got to come in one piece.
Yeah, it's going to be rolled up. You unroll it, and there's a seam.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought. And then you lock everything together, and the weight of it holds it all in place.
There's all the pumps and stuff.
Yeah. That looks like a freaking dryer hose or vacuum hose. 12 by 30.
How many
30
gallons?
30 inches deep isn't. I mean, that's not shallow, but it's not super deep. God damn, it's cheaper to get that than it is to get that 12-foot Intex inflatable one. Blue Wave.
That's probably what, 9,000 gallons? 8,000 gallons?
Somewhere around there.
It's not telling me.
Go all the way to the bottom and hit. There should be a specs down there.
Volume capacity, 2,000 gallons. £110.
June, no, At 110 pounds, that seems very flimsy. I don't know about that one. I think you might be better off actually buying a solid stock tank.
Yeah. How do you get it here? Oh no, they ship it to you in pieces. You got to put it together.
Nah,
And then
I know you got a Harbor Freight in your area. Just have Harbor Freight ship you one of their stock tanks, like a 10 or 12-foot stock tank.
I don't know if Harbor Freight doesn't have stock tanks, do they?
Oh, yes, they do.
Really?
Mine does.
Ours doesn't. I know our Tractor Supply store does.
Sorry, not Harbor. Yeah, Tractor Supply. That's what I meant, not Harbor Freight.
Oh.
Sorry. I always get the two mixed up for some reason. Constantly. But yeah.
Believe it or not, ours are in the same parking lot.
Huh?
Ours are in the same parking lot.
Harbor Freight and Tractor Supply share the same parking lot?
Yes.
So they're literally right next door to each other.
Almost. Yeah. There's still a couple stores in between, but yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean,
That's nuts.
but for that price,
$400? Or was it
Yeah.
$290 something?
yeah, $298.
Yeah, I think you're better off just buying the steel stock tank.
It's already got the pump and everything. It's all pre-done for you. Yeah, stock tanks will be a little bit more difficult though.
Yeah, the only thing really with the stock tank is you just have to buy the pump and just have to drill a secondary hole in it.
Yeah, this stuff's not the easiest thing to drill a hole in.
Oh shit, yeah, it is. Every one of my stock tanks that I keep buying some of the ones that anything that's smaller than the 2 foot high or the 3 foot high ones does not come with a pre-drilled drip hole or a drain. So like the 3x2x3s, those come with a tapped drain hole that comes with a little plug.
See, now when I'm thinking about stock tank, I'm thinking 12 feet in diameter
Yeah,
that you got to bolt together, and there's no bottom for it. You actually have to put it on there.
no, I'm talking about these ones. Oh, they got square ones? What? I want a square one? No, this is a 7-foot galvanized, or sorry, a 10-foot round galvanized tank for $800. But these are the ones I'm talking about. When I'm talking stock tank, this is the shit I'm talking about. See, this is what I consider a stock tank.
Yeah,
So these big old 10-foot rounders, but that's $800.
and it's very shallow.
Yeah, they're only like 18 inches deep or 12 inches deep.
Yeah.
Let's see what this. Let me see what
I'm
this.
thinking taller as
There
well.
you go, 10 foot by 10 foot by 2 foot. So it's 24 inches tall. I don't know why it's a round tank. I don't know why they can't just say 10-foot round. But even at 2 foot, 24 inches is pretty deep.
That was at 1,117 gallons.
Yep, 1117.
I could barely read that, but yeah.
Sorry. I can't make it any bigger, unfortunately. Now, the one I want, this is really a weird one, is this guy here.
A little square one.
No, it's a triangle.
Oh yeah, this will fit inside the corner of a pin.
Yeah, so you throw that in like the corner of something, or what the funny part is with this one is you can grow like on the edges, you can grow 3 different sets of like decent sized plants. But I mean, if I could get those ones, yeah, it's $219. But the problem is Tractor Supply. I never see these at Tractor Supply.
You're gonna have to order them.
Yeah, I physically have to order it.
No, they'll fit in that corner of your property.
Oh yeah,
Street.
yeah, it'll fit in anywhere that you got a corner. It'll stick. It'll fit perfectly in there. Like imagine see this one right here would actually be good like inside of a greenhouse
Oh yeah.
for like a bio pond.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive that's going to have a drain plug down here in the bottom, at least on one side. It's either on this side or going to be on that side quarter. But, I mean, 60 gallons is still a lot of water.
Oh yeah.
40 inches by 32 by 24. So, it's only 2 feet high.
Yeah.
But that's like your standard galvanized tank. So, I mean, this wouldn't be a bad little thing to get.
No.
For two. I just wish it wasn't $219. That's the only problem. But anywhere else that I found these, they're not any cheaper. But yeah, that's what I would love to get those little corner ones because I wouldn't mind getting one of these little square ones either. This one here. It's the same thing. It's a 60 gallon, but it's a like little small square. So this one is, where's it? Ooh, it does not have the stock dimensions on here.
Those you can line up side by side and make 2 rows.
Yeah, you can make little rows, little squares, or however you want to do them.
And instead of being round, you'll actually have more square inches.
Yeah. And you can butt them against each other, and even if you really want to keep them from going anywhere, you can just clamp them together with like a C-clamp. Kind of really wish they would have the, look, there's no specs on the dimensions on here.
Oh, wow.
2 foot tall tanks, that's it, that's all they say.
They're probably 2 foot by 2 foot. 60 gallons?
Yeah, 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot.
It'll be 3 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet.
Maybe. That's still not a bad one. I mean, you can put like a tree in the middle or a nice bush and then plant a bunch of stuff around it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have an area that has like invasive trees that like to violate your plants. But again, $220, man. These things have gotten ridiculously expensive.
Keep looking at its Tractor Supply Store. Do you have an account?
I don't have an account, but I do have a number with him, so I do have a...
Create an account and then keep looking at it 2-3 times a week. The price on it will drop.
I ain't got time to sit there 2-3 times a week checking on this stuff.
No, just quick, you'll see it advertised on your computer.
Oh yeah, I get all kinds of info, like stuff for. See, this is the kind of stuff that Drops was talking about, like these drop plant tanks. You basically just dig a hole and just drop the tank in there. These aren't bad if you want to do like an outdoor swimming, like an outdoor bath. Is that actually even showing up? Jesus Christ. Oh! Wow, I don't know what happened there, but never mind. I guess it changed on me.
Yeah, but it'd be just nice to have, a 12-foot round steel tank. That's 3 feet high.
Yeah.
There's a reason why stock tanks are only 2 feet tall. That's so the calves can get in there and drink the water.
So they don't drown in the damn thing.
No, they don't choke when they're trying to get water. Or drown.
All right, Night Drops. Have a good one. Be well, be safe.
Good night, Drops.
Yeah, where? I wouldn't mind getting one of those stock tanks for $100. Shit. Ooh, as Deb said something, Tractor Supply here has put out their stock tanks this week. Smallest is 5 feet, the biggest is 15 feet. Solid with the bottom. They are hoping the windstorms are done. Oh yeah, no, those yeah, my Tractor Supply, they've had those things for months. They just sit out there in the back in the fenced off parking lot. But yeah, they've always got stock tanks over there. You can get the big plastic ones too. If I had a spot for them, I'd probably get one, but I'm not going to sit there and drop $400 on a goddamn plastic swimming pool.
Yeah. No, but the thoughts, for that stock tank for $300 or that swimming pool for $300, it'll last 5, 6, 7 years.
No, you know what you do is you buy one of those in-ground water tanks, and you just cut the top off. Yeah, they're like $400 or $500, but that stuff is like 1/4 inch thick plastic.
Yeah, the
They're
polytank.
like 4 or 5 feet deep.
Yeah,
like,
the problem is I can't do that
wide.
here. I can't put them in the ground here.
Yes, they tend to float.
You got it.
Yeah, I don't get the rain and snow you guys get. If I did, I would do it. Or they wouldn't. No, but we get the heavy windstorms, which I've seen those winds move some heavy shit. Like heavy, heavy stuff. It just grabs it and flings it across. Doesn't care. Oh, now I'm done all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it's not hard to hook up a pump to it and water the garden.
Nope. Just drill a hole in the bottom, pump to it, and hose, and there you go.
Yeah, because like I said, that 1 year, was it 2 years ago? I had to keep water on the garden, water. My water bill got up to like $600,
Ooh, Jesus Christ, Jason.
and I have a well on the property. Problem is, I can only draw out real slow because it's only a 2-inch casing.
Well, I would have to that one work on the. I have to look at the YouTube side on that one.
I
Sorry.
don't know the recovery rate on the water on it.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not spending $400 on those tanks. The price on those tanks has just
Exploded.
in like the last year, which is a load of BS. And I'm sorry, even over the last previous 4 years, those tank prices were not all that great because of the jackass 4 years before that. Which is why lumber prices went skyrocketing because of a stupid Dorito. And that's all I'm going to say.
It was more than that.
Well, it was a combination of the stupid Dorito and the fact that that cargo tanker got stuck in the damn Suez Canal. But I still blame the Dorito. Or cheese puff, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, it's gonna. To be honest, the recovery cost of like wood and metal is gonna be like at least another 8 years before it starts dropping.
Yeah. We've already gone past 10 minutes.
Yep, I've noticed that. Almost there. So, all right, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight. Me and Jason are going to wind it down because I know he's got to get to bed because he's got to work tomorrow.
Yep.
We had Carrot Head. So, Deb drops obstacle. Jason, Molly, Grace, Blake, CR, or well, not even IQ. What's that? CR didn't even show up today. Rob, Dan. Who else showed up today? Jesus Christ, Deb. My brain just died all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Anyways, everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you had a wonderful night talking about gardening, potential gardening, and a few off-topic subjects.
Yep.
But be well, be safe, and we'll catch you guys on Wednesday, hopefully on this guy's live if he is not
Wednesday.
weather-bound.
It'll probably be Wednesday, and it'll probably be Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and
We'll see everybody around on various channels and live. So be well, folks. Be safe. Have a great one. We'll catch you on the next one. This is going to be Fox Outdoors and